the Opie and Anthony Show.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio Shock Jock.
Opie and Anthony.
Ask the question.
Go with the difference.
No, what is like?
Ask the question. You're bombing. Ask it.
How many miles of have been in you?
Robin Leach. To talk to Robin Leach. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. How are you?
Good morning to you.
What was the most expensive house you ever were in?
You guys were so bad.
Yeah, you guys are really mean. You guys were picking out the worst pictures you guys could find and putting them up there. Like, seriously, like, I'm not...
Stop. Don't. No.
Oh, what happened?
God, I knew it.
What is wrong? On a big black... What's wrong with it?
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Oh, my God. I just made it.
Yeah, you were in the can over there.
You might want to get some of that yellow tape.
Oh, really? Crime tape
Boy.
the bathroom off?
I heard the promo, the intro to the Opie and Anthony Show. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make it.
Oh, my God.
I'm debuting the hoodie, by the way.
No, is that the hoodie that had...
This is the first time I've worn the hoodie since the incident.
That's
Washed twice, dry cleaned, and got to wear it again today.
I don't know. I think you got to just throw it away.
That smells good. It was this sleeve right here.
I can see how the sleeve goes down the palm of your hand a bit. That might have been a problem.
Yeah. If you were listening, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I had an incident.
An incident during the hygiene portion of a number 2.
Yeah. Completely surprised when my hand came up and I went, what is this?
Yeah.
What am I, 4?
A little slippage.
How's everybody?
Very good.
Nice little snow day yesterday for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Winter Wonderland is what they call it. Virtual Winter Wonderland. Which means, people constantly in my way.
Yeah.
On the drive in, drive out. And then today was the same thing. Some people just driving like 45 miles an hour.
Like it's still snowing.
Yeah, because there's snow on the side of the road. The expressway could not have been clearer.
Mm-hmm.
They got it down to complete asphalt. There was no ice, no snow. And people still left lane, 45 miles an hour, hazard lights on. When you see that, you just want to throw a grenade through their window. But made it.
And there you go. 877-212-0-A.
Let me see if this works now, because some reason, overnight, things just, you know how it is in here.
Yeah.
Things stop working. Like, people, I think, just pick at things here at night. They get bored and decide, let me just unplug things. I'll just pull the camera out of the computer.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's like, this was working when I left, less than 24 hours ago, and now it doesn't work. Could only mean someone effed with it.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I'd love to have a closed circuit camera in here hooked up at home to my computer. I'd watch it like a hawk till I came back in here.
That's a very good idea.
From the time I left, I just watch it and see, and just so I could go up to the person and go, so you're the idiot that's been effing with everything. Can I just ask you why you do it? And then have them go, well, I'm miserable. I don't know. My hours got cut. Just whatever it is. And then just go, okay.
It's probably the janitor.
All right.
I don't think they have live DJs anymore during the night.
I don't know.
That's the new thing in radio. It's like, what is it called? Automate. Voice track.
Tracking.
We need to voice track.
I like that voice tracking.
That'll get the whole business healthy again. Yeah. Let's voice track. Let's have the morning guy do about 6 hours, and then the rest of the day we'll just voice track. Yeah, that'll do it.
Voice track.
Let's say hi to Rob on Long Island. Rob, how are you, buddy?
Hey there, Rob.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Opie, I know you said your father-in-law was like a down-to-earth guy. I was just curious if you and him were like reminiscing about the different girls you used to chase in high school together.
My father-in-law celebrated the Big 5-0, and I had a fine little weekend in Philly, Atlantic City. I was all over the joint. I was telling Anthony I played a little 3-card.
Yeah.
And I'm not a gambler like Anthony, but if I'm down there, I'm going to have a little fun. And I was at like the $15 table. If you know 3-card, that means you're playing about $45 a hand. And I was able to get it up to like $600. Nice, right?
Sure.
And then it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I decided to sit down at the blackjack table. I'm like, this does very well for Anthony.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to play a little blackjack, and then I got visions of turning my 600 into a couple thousand, which would be huge for me.
Sure.
That would be huge for me. I'm not a high roller where I need to throw down thousands of dollars per hand.
No.
So I'm at this table, and I'm getting really tired, and I can't really focus.
Oh, that's bad, yeah.
I'm not really drinking these days, so it wasn't a drinking thing. And I think I messed up the whole table because I decided to, what did I decide to do?
Uh-oh.
I think I decided not to hit when I was supposed to hit.
Oh,
yeah, that's what it was. And there were people at my table, even though it was like a $50 table or something like that, but they were playing for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I decided to stay on 13.
Yeah.
Let the dealer bust. I learned that from Anthony.
Yeah, but what did the dealer have?
I think he turned over 13.
Oh, no.
And he got the 8.
See, you got to hit that.
And the whole table looked at me and started yelling at me.
Yeah.
And there were a couple undesirables next to me, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get the S kicked out of me because I didn't hit on the 13."
Yeah, you got to hit.
But they were very happy when I left, losing all of my 600 within 20 minutes, if probably less actually.
So you built up 600, and then it's just gone.
Yeah, and building it up with 3 card, that takes a while.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It took a couple hours to get up to 600 with the 3 card, and then it took
give and take.
Took maybe 50. I think it was less than 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to lose it all on blackjack, pissing off the table as I went. Where one lady just grabs her chips, all mad.
I'm out of here. I can't play with this riffraff.
Right, mumbling under her breath, and then she walks to another table. I'm like, ah. And then we did the benefit on Sunday for the cop that was killed down there in Philly, and that went very well. Over 3,000 people marched for his family.
What kind of benefit was it?
Well, for the cop that got shot and killed.
Was it? It was
no. I still got to try to figure out one of those down the road, but it was more like
a vigil.
It was more like you go to a bar and you pay, what was it, like $30, $40, $50 a head. There's food, there's beer, there's door prizes, that type of thing. But the whole neighborhood came out and tons of cops, and
that's cool.
And the widow, who's only like 23, 24, was there for like 45 minutes. She couldn't handle it. She left. I don't blame her.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was good. It was a good night for everybody. How you guys doing?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I held down the fort there yesterday.
Yeah.
With Patrice.
Mm-hmm.
That was always that's always fun.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear
Patrice
yesterday.
Just yelling into the microphone.
Really?
Yeah. And him and Danny got in a little spat.
Yeah.
Over some inane computer issue.
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah, well, he wanted to... We were talking about getting movies on the internet.
Right.
And how it's kind of easy these days to get first-run movies that are, right in the theater.
It's getting easier
online.
and easier.
You just pop it up and watch a movie.
Right.
So he had this site that he blurts out, and it's like, Z this /.tv .this.that. And those have spyware written all over them. You just know it.
Sometimes you see those website addresses and you go, "Oh, this is nothing but trouble.
This is just trouble."
I know exactly what you're saying.
Well,
it has to be very neat. www.something.com.
Yeah. Well, Danny decided
not a good idea.
This wasn't a good idea. Yeah, I'll make it as short as I can because it went on for quite a while. Danny said, no, this is going to screw up the computer and everything. And Patrice just got all over his crap, all over him.
That was it. And then for the next 40 minutes, I was just getting the piss beat out of me because I didn't want to click on this.
Because he didn't want to click on the link that would have just loaded up his computer with spyware. And Patrice is like, I do it at home all the time. What you talking about? He goes, yeah, well, your computer at home must suck.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, because I didn't want to, watch an illegal movie on company computer that works, which I would like to continue to work.
Right.
Then it was because I was white and I have problems. I need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then Patrice was bringing up white tricks. It was there was a type of white tricks that were being played on him. And then I told him that he's gotten angrier since Obama's been president.
So have you, though.
And I know, but he said to me, he goes, and you haven't? I go, yeah, but I'm the guy that has the reason. I go, you're the guy that should be happy. I'm the guy that has the reason.
I'm tired of racism. I'm exhausted.
What?
I'm exhausted of the racism.
Are you?
Why does that turn into
I don't know why it turned into race.
Yesterday was almost ridiculous with that because it seemed like almost every topic that got brought up, he somehow managed to bring it around.
Right.
Well, it's because that I'm black and you're white and white people.
Yeah. White tricks. That was
don't forget, Jimmy, throughout this whole thing, every time somebody had said
just
something,
being an ass.
he was going,
Real nice.
Yeah, he was going, ooh.
I'm sure Patrice appreciated that. You've been friends with Patrice forever. I'm sure he really appreciated it.
There's a couple key points where you can really hear it. It was just kind of nudging things along nicely.
Ooh, yeah, it was really annoying. It was this subliminal annoyance for people that were just going, yeah, someone's going, ooh, yeah, I should be mad at this. And it just perpetuated it. It was definitely fun.
Someone's obsessed on instant feedback. Yes, I know. It's called a beef and beer in the Philly area.
Oh, is it?
The communities down there, they're very tight, and when something happens, when someone's down on their luck, they throw beef and beer things together for that person.
How about you stop shooting cops?
It's more than that. Let's say someone is just down on their luck, had a rough stretch. It's weird down there. They're really tight and close. I was saying, my neighborhood, they weren't that close.
No.
If you got effed in your job or in life in general, no one was there to help you.
No.
But some of these communities, especially in the Philly area, because I know about that, they just help each other out. It's really bizarre. Yeah. Really bizarre, actually. Because most of the people going there to help the person out doesn't have a lot of funds or money.
No.
So.
But they all get together.
Right. Did anyone see The Apprentice? Please tell me you saw The Apprentice.
I have a DVR.
Please tell me. Dice is the most self-destructive person I've ever met in my life. All he had to do was play the game, and he would have been on The Apprentice for a few weeks.
And what did he do?
Well, it was a cupcake thing. You didn't see this?
No, I haven't DVR'd.
I think he's coming in tomorrow. Yeah. Is he? 8:30. Make sure you watch it, please. 2 teams making cupcakes. And Dice is in the kitchen. He's like, I don't want to make cupcakes. And decides he needs to go do radio to promote the fact that his team's making cupcakes.
What? Why?
And their team was such a disaster, but he should have been knocked off the show. But he was just so useless that they had to throw him off. I'm like, what are you doing, Dice? This is a huge gig for you.
All he had to do was
just play the game a little.
There's a fine line between playing the game a little and being Dice,
right?
Was he being too much like Dice?
Yeah. And then at one point he's trying to tell everyone that he's the biggest celebrity there. And then he's getting into it with Donald Trump. Sam, you saw this?
Yeah, the first thing he did on the show was complain to Donald Trump that there were no bagels.
Yeah, no bagels and food for everybody, and that they were tired and hungry.
Yeah.
So we need energy to do this, and there's no bagels.
Yeah, so. I mean, the show was perfect for him.
Hey, Donnie Trump.
Right.
Hey, look, it's Donnie Trump. Donnie Trump?
Well, the classic. And you're Donnie Trump.
Donnie Trump.
And then it just got nothing, and he's sitting there staring. But I think that was some clever editing. It was very obvious they edited the hell out of that to make it look very awkward for everybody. But
why would they throw him off the first week?
And they're stupid for doing that too, because there's a lot of just duds as far as personalities go.
You want to see a disaster like that on the show.
I want Melissa Rivers to be run over by a New York City cab.
Yeah,
she is the worst.
Yeah,
her mom. I actually, the older I get, I think I'm becoming more of a Joan Rivers fan. I used to hate her too, but she tells it like it is. She's had a career. She sat in Johnny Carson's seat when Johnny decided that he was too hungover or whatever to do the show. She had a career. This Melissa Rivers, why is she famous?
Because she's Joan Rivers' daughter.
Exactly. And I think Dice made a point about the umbilical cord. What's up with this one? Why don't you do something on your own without doing everything with your mommy? Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he was good. I hate Melissa Rivers. I don't know what she does. But she's famous, and she acts like she's,
Yeah.
She's famous.
Yeah, all she's ever done is done those red carpet things with her mommy.
Well, they effed up that gig.
Yeah.
It used to be on E. Then it was on the TV Guide channel.
Channel.
Then it was on AOL.com. And now it's I think it's on Pal Talk now.
Did they mess it up, or did he just drop it?
What?
Did he just drop that whole red carpet thing?
Yeah, because I think, years ago. I think Joan Rivers was just a little too outrageous for the network,
They got Ryan Seacrest doing it now.
Yeah, see.
Did they really? Instead of her?
Yeah, you know, you got to go safe.
It's all good, clean fun.
Yeah, you got to be
Ryan.
safe with everything.
That way, with Ryan, you know you're getting fun and it's entertaining all at the same time.
They deserve it. Those Hollywood fruits. That's why they wanted Hugh Jackman and not a comedian.
Right.
God forbid they have her just tearing everybody's throat out. They're just a bunch of babies.
Take no chances. Don't insult or offend anybody.
Right.
Can one thing go by where there's a comedian hosting an event or a comedian on a show or just some regular, actor that maybe has a reputation for something without an apology having to be given afterwards? Yeah. I don't even – there's always some apology that's got to be given. Oh,
true.
Disgusted with it.
But now I'm hooked on this dumb Apprentice. I was watching because of the dice thing. He's off, but now I'm hooked.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know this poker player, Annie what? Annie Dukes?
Annie Dukes, yeah.
What a C.
Yeah, she is.
She is a C.
I played at the same table with her in that L.A. competition.
Oh, really?
And I beat her a hand.
Oh, nice.
And I said to her, I go, I got to tell you, it's a pleasure to play with you, play a hand with you like that. And she just went like, gave me this chuckle, and I'm like, I watch you on TV. I didn't say this. This was to myself now. I was talking.
Right.
Because I have no balls. I watch you on TV. It's very entertaining to be able to sit down with these superstars and play and actually play a hand and beat her out in a hand was like a thrill. And she just looks at it like, go F yourself then.
Annie Dukes sucks.
She brought in a ton of money. You see all the people that were coming up handing over checks?
Yeah, in The Apprentice, she got all her poker player buds. Yeah. So they were like, spending like $1,000 for these awful cupcakes. Yeah. Both teams made awful cupcakes. But you got to watch for the dice thing, and he'll be in tomorrow, right?
Yep.
All right, we're just getting started.
Nice.
And I'm just going to throw this out there. Travis saw this show. What's it called again? I don't know if we should talk about it or not. I'm just going to say it and see if there's any
How
interest.
to be gay covered up with a pregnant wife.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, he's right here, though. That's United States of Tara.
Yes.
That show is twisted.
It's good.
If enough people call about the show, maybe we'll talk about that for a few minutes.
We can talk about 24 if nobody calls about it.
Oh, God, enough with your man crush on Jack Bauer.
What are you gonna do? He gets the job done.
Yeah. United States of Tara. It's a woman. She's got multiple personalities, and she's trying to live like a normal life with her 2 kids and husband. But her other personalities show up when she's stressed out.
Ming, you multiple personal.
And it's really, really a creepy show.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I forget.
You liked it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I don't know if
it sounds like something that could be kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, it's a quick, it's like a half-hour sitcom. She
turns into
a sitcom.
Yes.
Thought it was a reality show.
No.
Oh no.
She's not really crazy.
No. It's the chick from that Sunshine movie. Yeah.
Oh, her.
Yeah, she was cool. She was in here.
Oh yeah.
But also, she turns into a 15-year-old teenager, and she's hanging out with her daughter, talking about how she's trapped in this old body.
Yeah.
And she's wearing jeans where her G-string is popping out. She's bending over to show basically her ass to her kid. Like what 2 little teenage girls would be doing with each other.
Yeah.
But she's the mom. And everyone has to just deal with it when she goes into these other personalities.
Yeah, it's an adventure every week.
But one of the personalities is a dude.
Yeah, Buck.
Buck, who's kind of like a union guy, kind of wears the cut off shirt and the,
what is she doing?
A trucker
one-woman show for a sitcom?
But,
and now let me bring out this character.
But then Buck,
Whoopi.
Buck goes to school and beats the crap out of his daughter, out of her daughter's boyfriend, because the boyfriend was pushing the daughter around. So now, the mom is now this dude character and beats the crap out of him in front of everybody.
Yeah, Buck's a Vietnam vet.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Was that the personality that...
But which is hilarious. He loves guns, and they have a rule in the house when Buck shows up that they can only go shooting as a family, because Buck really doesn't know how to shoot a gun.
Oh, okay. Thinks he does, because it's a she. And
Right.
Yeah. Whoa, is that her...
That's Toni Collette.
Nude little top thing?
Yeah, wow. Wonderful.
Little gravity.
Usually that's hot to see a woman topless.
Well,
yeah.
She was pretty fat in that Muriel's Wedding movie. She was in that years ago.
Yeah.
I was forced to watch it, I swear.
All right, we got to take a quick break. The NFL player story is bizarre. We got Madoff's going to piss off Jimmy a little more today. Breastfeeding while driving, that could be a problem. And Paul Harvey died, radio legend Paul Harvey, and we got his last broadcast?
Yeah.
He did this and then what, died like a couple days later or something?
A couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks?
Oh.
All right. Lots to do. Opie and Anthony, stay there.
Ooh.
Opie and Anthony.
Well, 80s sound. An 80s sound coming back, isn't it?
A little bit.
I like that synth kind of thing going on. My last resort alarm go off this morning, by the way.
What happened?
My last resort fail-safe alarm. I got to that this morning.
What was that?
That's after everything in my iPhone, which I have 3 separate alarms set to go off at different times on my iPhone. And it goes, ngack, ngack, ngack. And then I don't even remember the first 2 of those.
Yeah.
I remember the last one, but I think I kind of just shut it off. And then my big clock radio one goes on and music starts blasting out of it. And then I woke up and went, oh, damn.
Tiny.
That was the last one. No, I
That
got
was the best alarm ever invented.
You know what I got, though? I got the I think it's a Sony. And I could plug my iPhone right into it. So it's not only charging. I don't have a separate charger wire going up my night table anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I could plug it into that. And I could play stuff off the iPod. I could wake up to my iPod music. And I could just pop it back out and use the stereo that comes with the clock radio. It's very handy, convenient, and that's what I use.
I got you beat.
Bose is very good, though.
No. I got you beat. I'll bring in my alarm tomorrow because I have a Bose, but I have a better alarm now. It's
baseball bat.
It's futuristic. It looks like kind of like a wheelie robot. It has 2 wheels.
No,
and it looks kind of like futuristic. And the alarm goes off, and then the thing takes off.
Not that one.
Yeah, oh yeah. You've seen this thing?
Oh yeah.
Those things rock because now not only does it fly off your nightstand, now you got to get out of bed to find the thing because it just starts driving you nuts. It just rolls all over the place.
See,
and it's one of those it's like a Land Rover too. Like this thing could do very well on Mars.
Yeah,
like it'll just figure out how to.
It's been designed to just kind of roll over things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Up and over the bed, onto the other side, down the hall.
Show with me, I'd probably end up shooting holes in the floor trying to chase it down. I wouldn't want to. I'm still not getting up, you bastard.
No.
Wow, that's an interesting concept. You know, the guy that invented that was just like, I'm late for everything. What can I do?
Wait, there's another alarm where it has like a
helicopter.
Like what? No, what was that called as a kid? Those things.
Yeah, it was like a little vertibird kind of,
exactly.
Propeller.
So the alarm goes off, that thing pops off, and now you got to find that to turn off the alarm, right?
Yeah, I think it won't shut off until you put it back in its dock.
It'll shut off. It's next to you. It'll shut.
I saw one of like the tech blogs. There's an alarm clock that forces you to do math problems. And you have to get them right.
All right, now
and you got to get them right.
Yeah.
What's that?
You have to get these math problems right, or else the alarm clock won't turn off. So
That's
obviously,
pretty funny.
by the time that your brain is in a state that's well enough to finish these problems, you're waking up. So.
I've gotten out of bed and almost done my business in the garbage pail. Never mind trying to do
like that old Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah.
He goes to go in the hamper.
Yeah.
Throws his clothes in the toilet.
Yeah.
Math problems.
Never mind trying to do math problems. God, that's for people that really just have trouble. Let's
say hi to Dano in Kentucky. Dano.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Dano.
Kentucky.
Hey. Hi, King.
Hey, buddy.
Kentucky windage.
Kentucky windage. Hey, I have an alarm clock. It's called a Screaming Meanie, and it's 110 decibels.
That's good.
Can you play it for us, or are you already in your truck?
Oh, I'm in the truck. It's behind
that
me.
sucks. Maybe tomorrow morning if you're around before,
Maybe.
All right.
I'm surprised his answer isn't just what to everything. What?
Oh, no kidding.
What?
The Screaming Meanie alarm clock.
Kevin just shows up at your house and he yells in your face until you get up. That's all I got on.
John in Tulsa, I've already checked out Pussifer and The Mission. Great song. It's one of my favorite songs out there right now. Whitey, Illinois, what's going on?
Hey, Whitey.
What's up, boys?
Hey, man.
I've got an alarm clock that's the old memory game. Remember the old red, blue, yellow, green colors?
Oh, like Simon Says.
Yeah, you have to memorize. Simon Says was like that had all the alphabetical buttons. This one you have to memorize the colors to shut the alarm off.
That would be fun for one morning because it's new. You know what I mean? Like when you get something new, you're like, oh, that's cool. Ooh. And by the second day, you're throwing that out the window. Who needs to be bothered?
Say, when you're drunk, it makes a really cool Frisbee.
Just heave it.
Nice.
I'm with the quantity of alarms. That gets me because if enough alarms go off at 5-minute intervals, and I can't just hit snooze, that doesn't work. It's got to be a separate alarm going off at certain 10-minute interval, and then a 5-minute, and then another one goes off 5 minutes later. That's the only way it works. Multiple alarms, keep blasting me, and I'll wake up.
The math problem alarm, that's stupid. Kevin from Connecticut, he's got a great alarm. I hired a black man from Buffalo to wake me up every morning.
Ah, well, that worked for Opie.
Here we go to Brian in West Virginia. Brian, you got the Screaming Meanie, I think it's called, or?
Mimi.
Mimi?
Yeah, Screaming Meanie.
All right, you have it right there?
I got it right here. You ready?
Yeah. F no. And that's over the phone. No effing way.
You know what that sounds like.
No effing way.
I can't wake up like that.
No way.
I can't wake up to a sound like that.
No.
I would be, I swear, I would just be like, ah!
Yeah, that would make you feel like you're waking up to an axe murderer every morning.
I have one called Shake Awake that you pin to your pillow, and it goes like this.
Michael J. Fox put that one out.
It doesn't wake up the person next to you. It's kind of good for morning radio people.
Are you kidding? My girl doesn't wake up.
Really?
No.
No?
Oh, when we first started dating, it was all lovey-dovey. She got up with me. Not anymore. She doesn't even move when that alarm goes off.
Yeah. I actually have to hold a mirror under this girl's nose to see if she's breathing. She didn't even sit up to hug me. It's like she's gotten lazier and lazier.
Really?
It's like, it used to be they get up, they give you a hug, and now it's just like she rolls over, the one arm goes up. Like, and that's the kind of half hug.
Right.
And I'm supposed to lean down.
I'd rather they stay asleep. Because my ex was very the lightest sleeper I've ever known in my life, and I could not do anything. The second I tried to step out of bed, it was like, "Oh, hey." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I woke you up." "Oh, no, it's just the way it is." I'd rather they just stay asleep so I could clunk around the house, and then leave. And go, "Hey, take it easy.
See you later."
Give the foot a squeeze. And go, "All right, I'll see you."
Oh, is that what you do? You don't hug?
Yeah, a little foot squeeze, and I'll bite a big toe or something like that.
But imagine if you do that, it's like the Odd Couple and it's their ear. Oh, I've been doing this laugh. It's really been annoying when we're out. Like, I'll do something.
Okay. That's creepy annoying.
It's really been annoying her.
Nice.
Do people look?
Yeah, she gets so embarrassed. Like she's like she couldn't see the waitress
walking out the door with you?
No.
Oh, that's hurtful.
Yes. Yeah, way to take a guy when he's down and kick him. No, like we were in this restaurant last night and she had her hand let's just say on my lap.
Right.
And I was asking her to. And then I make her do it, and then like when the waitress is coming over, as the waitress gets close, I'm like, hey, please move your arm. And then the waitress sees her pulling her arm out from my crotch. What an idiot! Come on, what are you doing like that?
You are an ass.
I get her all the time with stuff like that.
You're fun.
Oh, dude, it's great because I constantly get her with stuff like that. She's not used to it.
Let's say hi to Brian.
Oh, is that great?
Brian!
Good evening.
Hey, Brian.
Sir.
What's going on, guys?
What up?
My older brother is such a heavy sleeper that sound doesn't do it for him anymore.
Yeah.
He actually built a contraption that tilts the bed up and throws him off the bed.
Come on.
That's science fiction.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Dead serious, guys. He's got an electric motor that turns like a screw on the side.
Yeah.
And it tilts the bed up. Him, the sheets, everything. Pillow right on the floor.
Impossible, but I mean...
Yeah, I believe you.
Sounds like quite a thing to do.
Why doesn't he just go to some AA meetings? That's obviously the
problem. He works construction, works asphalt. It's a hard worker that at the end of the day just clonks out, and that's it.
He's exhausted. All right. That's the best one I've heard so far. Crotch Critter. You're on the Opie and Anthony show. Hey, man.
Morning, guys.
Hi, buddy.
Morning, CC.
Hey, man.
Morning to CC, everyone.
That Screaming Mimi is no joke. I was parked out here in Texas at a oil refinery.
Yeah.
The guy next to me, he had one that went off, and they sound exactly like a chemical spill alarm at the plant. And I came about, I had the truck running and everything else, getting ready to throw it in gear, when I finally realized what it was. It scared the daylights out of me in the truck.
Wow.
Ready to get out of Dodge.
Yeah. It's easy. You just put your alarm clock somewhere where you have to get out of bed.
Oh, this is great.
If you,
it's cold out when the honey pours like like cement. Oh, I hate the winter.
Yeah, we're almost there.
No, we're not.
We're almost there.
So not. We haven't even gotten a breather. We have not gotten a break.
Yeah, we've had a bad one.
We have not.
We haven't had one of
break.
these in a while.
What if we get 150-degree day? We're like, oh, it's like spring out. What happened to I remember in January at one point, going golfing.
Mm-hmm. You didn't go golfing in January?
I swear to God.
You went golfing.
Yes. Me, not this January. No, of course not.
And you were in Hawaii.
But I mean, yeah, I was in Hawaii. No.
Well, not this January.
Out on Long Island. But it was you get a point where it's 70 degrees in January, and you go, okay, that's a really cool day. It's a nice break from the winter.
We've had a couple of those days.
No, we didn't.
Dude, I went biking in the park with a T-shirt on a couple times this winter.
Well,
it happens. I mean, it's been a little 50s. Worse than usual.
Perhaps 50s is the highest we've
Now, I'm going to challenge you. What's the highest temperature we've had this winter in New York City?
Highest temperature, Central Park.
I'm going to bet. I don't think we made 70. I'm going to go with 68 degrees was the highest temperature this winter in New York City.
Crazy. I'll say 60 at the most.
Let's keep it interesting because Virginia's listening. We don't want to leave him out of the conversation and have that local blogger get all over our ass.
Well, didn't they get some snow too, which is good, right? They got
Atlanta got some too. But enough with Atlanta getting snow. Now they're pretty much getting it every winter here and there.
Yeah.
I just love how it just shuts down everything. Just a tiny, a quarter-inch tops.
Yeah.
Shuts down the entire city. What's wrong with those people?
I know. It's getting colder in Atlanta. Thank God my new CD is called Global Warming. Ha!
I'll pick that one.
Yeah, that's a winner. It's all about the issues.
Man.
Let's go to Kyle in Alabama. Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
What's up, Kyle?
Hey, I got a Homer Simpson alarm clock.
Yeah, that's
over a year. All it's made me do is hate Homer Simpson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not a big Homer fan now that you got the alarm clock.
What a hack alarm clock.
I know.
Exactly.
That's Homer waking you up. Homer pissed off that you're still alive.
I just like my Bose. But it's got a CD. It doesn't have the iPod thing. It's got a CD player. It's a few years old. I should probably get one with an iPod.
Yes.
That was one of those thoughts that was boring to even have, much less say out loud.
Are we looking up that temperature? What are you saying was the high temperature in New York?
I say it's got to be 60 at the most.
At the most?
Yeah.
Someone's saying 58 is the number, but we're looking it up right now. This is a little creepy. Marcos, I don't know why we're talking about alarm clocks. We're going to talk about something else here, but what the F? Go ahead, Marcos.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey.
Hi.
What's going on? I was going to say that for me, personally, the worst alarm clock was back in high school. My mother used to wake me up by tickling the bottom of my feet with her nails. That used to really piss me off.
That's an awful way.
That is creepy.
Ew.
What's that about?
Yeah, what a ghoulish way to wake up.
Especially since they were carpenter nails. You'd scrape his feet.
Can I say something real quick, guys?
Well, it depends on what you want to say.
No, you can't.
No,
Jeff in Michigan, how are you, Jeff?
Doing good, boys.
All right.
Hey, the Screaming Meanie, that actually causes physical pain. And like you say, if you put it away where you got to get up, and it takes a 3-button series, 2 hands to shut it off.
Oh, God.
Are you kidding me?
On the package, it says, do not use in graveyards, may wake the dead.
That's a little joke, I bet.
Yeah.
That would be great if you put it in a graveyard and zombies ate you.
Yeah.
Or just got up and shut it off and then crawled back in.
Punch it out, boys. Have a good day.
All right. I'm getting 65 was the biggie, so we're pretty much split right down the middle, more or less.
Really?
65 was the record here in New York City this winter.
Well, I don't remember that. What was it, a weekend?
February 11th, it was 64 degrees in Midtown.
Is that a weekend?
You might have slept in that day.
No, I probably did.
Middle of the week.
Yeah, you might have slept in that day.
Right. I get home before the high temps.
That was a Wednesday.
Bobby Bigrager, I got ringing in my ear from using the screaming meanie. I'd never heard of this damn thing until today.
Sounds loud. Obnoxious.
Bobo, not the Bobo.
What do you wake up to, Bobo? What is that you wake up to? You should get that, Bobo. What kind of alarm do you have, Bobo?
If this is the Bobo, then we're gonna have to play the Bobo promo. Bobo.
This is the Bobo.
Oh, get me the Bobo promo.
It is the real Bobo?
You know how hard it is to get him?
What do you wake up for, Bobo? Do you have a reason to live, Bobo? The way he says Bobo.
Do you do it again this time?
It's despicable, yes. He's unlisten-toable, David. Unlisten-toable.
You know what? My little feedback from Philly, they love the David and Bobo show. Oh, they love it.
No, don't get me wrong. I didn't turn off a second of it. But it's unlisten-toable.
Yeah. What's up, Bobo?
I actually use the stereo as the alarm clock, but sometimes it's so loud it kind of sounds like the Hatch from Lost.
The Hatch from Lost, and then I fall out of bed and I was injured. Bobo is.
But by the way, my sister wants to say hi.
That's your sister?
Yeah,
hi.
Hi.
Hi, Bobo's sister.
We take care of Bobo, all right?
Hi.
She lost interest.
Oh, my God. Is that all you say?
You there?
Bobo, why is your sister saying hi, Bobo? Is that all she says, Bobo?
No, she just didn't. She can't hear.
Why?
She can't hear the phone.
Oh.
She can't hear the phone.
Stop putting the mouthpiece by her ear.
Yeah. Wow, what's going on in this family?
I don't know. It's just
They got a
oof.
They got a Bobo on a sister that just goes, hi, Bill. That should be an alarm clock. Hi.
Oh.
Hi. All right, Bobo, get lost.
All right.
All right.
Stupid Mets fan.
Can we play a couple highlights from the last David and Bobo show?
I didn't hear any.
Try
I'd
to
love
find
to hear
one.
some.
Wow.
Oof.
And the idiots at the other place try to shut down the David and Bobo show because they thought it was getting a little too crazy with the porn stars. Dopes that still don't understand what good radio is.
It was a little
Just
too
relax
wild.
and let us do our thing. And we'll get you all the ratings and all the people you need.
It was a little wild.
It was wild. They were getting all sorts of things were going on with David and Bobo.
It's so harmless.
No kidding.
It's so...
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
It's so harmless.
It's goofy.
The emails and the phone calls coming in. Shut it down! Oh my God!
It's like this woman mentality that runs everything.
No kidding.
There's a difference between a woman strapping on that special belt and attacking a lucky fellow and somebody just getting spanked.
And just getting their hiney smacked.
God almighty.
This is
Smacking
good.
a hiney.
It was said this is going into a dangerous area.
What,
Shut up.
145th Street?
Right. What's the dangerous area? Are fans actually enjoying the radio show? Is that a dangerous area? Can we get some highlights from the last David and Bobo show? It's worth playing.
I don't know. Can we?
All hell broke loose. It was insane.
Yeah.
Is it recording? Okay.
The David and Bobo Show is coming. It's the David and Bobo Show.
I think this will be a fresh voice in radio.
It's the David and Bobo Show.
Oh, no.
He asks the best questions in the world. David wants to know.
Someone's got to ask the questions other people won't.
The David and Bobo Show and David.
The David and Bobo Show. The David and Bobo Show is coming.
Oh, no. David and Bobo.
You can listen every day when it's on. You can listen.
Little Ray, the son of Big Ray, not to be confused with Ray Ray, who's Little Ray's son, just loves repeating that over and over again in Philly.
That must be a treat.
He loves
Pleasure.
I don't know who this Ray is, but he sounds like he's just a real dream to be around.
They love the name Ray in that family, and Ray loves to imitate that promo. And he goes, I love the fact that it just annoys the hell out of Jimmy.
It drives
goes,
me
Please keep playing
nuts.
Don't make Tim make another one.
He's going to anyway. He's trying to convince them, as the axes have been falling at CBS, he's going, why? I'm on air.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
So we have, I know we have David and Bobo stuff we're going to get, and I also know De Niro was interviewed.
Oh, yeah.
Fallon shows, is Fallon premiering tonight?
Last night was the first show.
Oh, last night was, okay. Yeah. He's on NBC taking over where Conan kind of is, who's taking over for Leno in June. And I heard De Niro's interview. I mean, there's so much, you can't, what can you do with De Niro? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just a tough guy to interview.
I think we pointed out, or you guys pointed out, or Jimmy pointed out.
Jesus,
well, I was giving you credit.
That's all right.
Something about a dress?
Yeah, something about a dress. That De Niro is just so effing lame when it comes to live interviews and obviously his acting choices these days.
You know what there is to point out and to talk to? If De Niro was on this show, I would like to ask questions about his movies, things that, I don't know, you're interested in. Like King of Comedy and actors doing comedy, like that movie Punchline. Actors having to do comedy. That's a hell of a step. It's a hard thing to do. I'd like to hear his take on something like that. Just some of his older movies, things like that. But no one asks him those things. They try to get him to be funny, and it just doesn't work.
I'm shaking my head, Ant, because you make a great point, but I think you could ask the best question ever, and you're still going to get nothing from this man.
Yeah?
I truly believe that, yes.
Pacino, remember when Brian Williams interviewed?
Yeah! Remember?
Yeah. They had me standing holding a lamp on the front yard. I don't even do a good Pacino, but it's so much fun.
Oh, believe me, you do a great one.
No, you do a great Al Pacino.
I can't stop going... even at home, I'll just go, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That was Jay Moore's impression.
Jay Moore's impression.
Little Jimmy's good.
Good. Yeah, that ice cream's good.
But Brian Williams couldn't get, Pacino was at least engaging.
The splicing of that interview, we played it on our show, was horrendous. Terrible. Which means they weren't getting anything from those guys, and they had to chop it together to make it sort of make sense.
I just asked him about old movies, Casino,
of course,
Scorsese. I would just ask him about that crap. Forget about anything he's done in the past 10 years. I wouldn't even mention it.
Right.
Maybe talk about Tribeca Film Festival a little bit. And how he came up with that and how 9/11 affected him personally because he makes a big thing about just like anything but trying to get a joke out of him. Stop with trying to make De Niro funny.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a break. When we get back, De Niro on Jimmy Fallon's first show. Let's take a little peek at that. Also, some clips from the last David and Bobo show, which was... Did you hear it?
Dude, I couldn't tune away.
You heard where it was just getting out of control, right?
I was like a drug addict that was booting up again, going, why am I doing this? Why? I had to listen, yet I wanted not.
For the people that were fortunate enough to hear the last David and Bobo show, a piece of Bobo's body wasn't red. It was purple.
Wow.
He has a high tolerance for pain. An extremely high tolerance for pain.
And so did the audience if they were still listening halfway through.
Oh, they were listening.
Horrid.
Oh, they were listening. All right, we'll do David and Bobo, De Niro stuff, and other things.
Can I plug tonight, Red Eye? I'll be on Red Eye with Ann Coulter tonight.
Red Eye tonight with Ann Coulter, your girl?
Yeah, I think we have a thing going. So
nice.
Tonight.
Are you going to bang her?
She wants nothing to do with me physically.
Would you, though?
I'm attracted to her, yeah. I think she's sexy. I honestly do.
I don't think she's as sexy as everyone makes her out to be.
Legs like a thoroughbred. I like that.
But then again, compared to all the other Republican
But do people make her seem sexy, though? I've never heard people say that.
Yes, they all talk about how hot she is. That picture, she's really hot, but that's an older pic.
Though. Yeah, in context. Think of what she is. She's not a model. She's not an actress. She's a political pundit.
6 bestsellers in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, they sell it like she's really
nice hair,
a hot broad.
I would definitely do it. She wouldn't. That's the issue.
She's got the long legs and the long arms.
Never an issue, Jimmy. Roofie.
You're checking out the Opie and Anthony show. I guess math fans are very excited today.
What?
It's Square Root Day.
Oh,
I have no idea why it's Square Root Day, but it is. What?
The date, right?
339?
Right?
Is that what they do? What? That's stupid.
It is stupid.
Come on, 3 times 3 is 9. We won't get this till what is it, April 4th of 2016.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Hey, look at you.
You did a little square rooting there.
A little square rooting.
That's wonderful.
Was the last one February 2nd of 04?
I believe it was. Very good square root, Jimmy.
That's right. And I guess January 1st of 01 would be before that.
Correct the mundo.
And then the time between the 31st and 1st of 2000. 0 times 0 is 0, but that's not a real time. They call me the square root kid.
No.
You were a mathlete.
Yes, I was the square root kid.
Ew, the mathletes. Them coming up with that mathlete
What's
thing.
that? Ew, that's a word?
They call them the mathletes in
Ew.
school. They're like math athletes, dude. You don't tangle with them when it comes to mathematics.
Yeah, they're math bags.
Kevin from Connecticut.
Math holes.
Math holes.
Hope they get math aids.
Kevin from Connecticut wants everyone to know that he's now on www.myfacepage.twitterbook.com, and he wants an ad. So,
really,
you could add Kevin from Connecticut. Yeah,
someone
the social networking is getting out of hand.
Someone did inform me yesterday that I could have a Twitter site that automatically updates when I update my Facebook.
Yeah.
So I just do my Facebook, and it instantly, anything new, it goes from my Facebook to the Twitter. A little more music.
Yeah, why would we fix that? Why would we fix the doorknob in the bathroom?
That's kind of funny, though.
What, the doorknob thing?
When the first time you grab hold of it and almost fly into the toilet bowl?
Yeah, it's great.
Because you're pulling on the door.
I'm going to purposely crack my skull and then sue this company for billions.
I laughed my ass off when I first pulled that knob off and just went like, oops.
Why would you fix the basics when you're changing formats again?
It's an Allen screw. It's very hard to come by an Allen key. You know how finding the right size Allen key is?
Yeah.
It's very difficult. It might be metric. My God, that's another catastrophe unto itself.
Yeah, those NFL players are so dead, huh?
So dead.
Why didn't they hold on like the other guy? That's what I want to know.
They were anchored. And the weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage. And the ship flipped over.
Yeah.
And the one guy was able to get on top of the boat and hang on. And the other guys, who knows?
He said they were all together at 2 a.m., around 2 a.m., and then they got separated, which I don't know if that means the guys were on the boat or they were just in the same area holding on to other things like life rafts or whatever.
Maybe sharks come cruising.
Well, the one guy looked like he had some kind of life raft on, right? I mean, life vest?
Sure, they all did, I'm sure.
Maybe not they all did. If this one guy had one on, that's very smart of him. If you're going to go out on a boat like that, especially in the Gulf fishing in a relatively small boat that far out, you better put a jacket on, and you better have some dandy equipment on the boat with you. But to have something like the boat flip that fast like that, where they couldn't really grab a lot of stuff, if they didn't have their jackets on, you get some guys that are like, I don't need no jacket.
Everyone says that. I can't remember the last time I was on a boat and went for the life jacket.
Well, they have them on there, though?
Yeah. It's like law. You got to have it.
Flipped in probably a second that they just flipped over.
You'd hope that they got some kind of, because you said they were all alive after the flip.
Yeah.
So it's like they obviously, the weather probably gets bad. It doesn't just all of a sudden you're there and then a 50-foot tidal wave hits you. So
rogue wave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what they're saying. 14-foot wave knocked the boat over.
Oh. Reminds me of a little scene.
30 to 50 miles out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ordinary People. Remember that? Timothy Hutton held on to the boat and Buck wasn't strong enough.
Yes, Buck wasn't strong enough, and he paid for that.
He sure did.
His mother's resentment.
That's right.
Stupid Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, was she good?
Boy, what a role change that was for her. She was sweet little Mary Richards from the Mary Tyler Moore show, and then she turns into this raging bitch.
Well, we talked about the biggest C in movie history.
Yeah.
She's a candidate in that movie.
She was pretty big in that.
She's a candidate.
Yeah. She was just an ice queen. She was just dead below the waist.
Yeah.
One of those people.
Oh, yeah.
Hence,
who was the husband in that?
Donald Sutherland was
Donald
great.
Sutherland, right. And he was just getting no joy from that marriage.
There's a great scene where he said I want to ask you something about Buck's funeral. And he's like, we were leaving and you said my brown socks didn't match my shoes.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she goes, yeah, what? So what? He goes, we were going to bury our son. Why did you care what I had on my feet? Oh, it was so great.
I remember, I haven't seen that movie in years.
Yeah,
it's too depressing. I hate that movie.
Oh, it's a good one. It actually beat Raging Bull for best picture, which was terrible, and best director.
It's a great enough story, I think, to get to outweigh the depression. Because it is just a depressing ass movie. But sometimes movies are too good, so you got to kind of take the depressing part of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great movie.
That's one of those. Yeah.
Getting back to those NFL players, the mistake they made: 4 monsters in a 21-foot boat. It was only 21 feet, right? That boat to go fishing.
Yeah,
that's crazy. To go out that far.
Yeah, they're big guys.
I know people go out that far all the time, but you got some giant guys on that boat.
That's pretty damn far for a 21-foot boat. You do not want to. You're taking a charter fishing boat out. That's fine. To take a private little cruiser out there, it's 21 feet. I remember Sal's boat. It was It was like a 38-foot Sea Ray.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't have taken that thing out in the Gulf like that. Be crazy. That far from land, scary. Monsters in the water. There are.
One good wave. That's all it takes.
That's all. Think of the speck that your boat is on the water. A friggin' ocean liner.
How about when you're
a luxury cruise ship is a speck?
How about, I was going to say, when you're flying like into Miami or something, you see all the cruise ships in the water,
and the freighters and things.
They're just little dots.
Little dots in the water, just waiting for.
When you're on the boat, you feel like you're pretty large, but you're just a dot out there.
Nothing.
They're so dead, though. I mean, that's obvious.
I was watching a great movie on, not a movie, it was a documentary on the sinking of Hitler's super ship. It was one of Hitler's big ships, obviously. And it was when the Russians were just screaming in and killing everybody, all the Germans, civilians, everything. They were a little angry with the whole thing. They were a little angry with the Nazis toward the end of the war. So they loaded a bunch of civilians, but they also loaded military people and artillery onto this cruise ship, a transport vessel. And there were 10,000 people on board this thing. And they set off to go somewhere, and a Russian submarine found it. Torpedo, bammo. This thing sinks in freezing cold water. Literally, it was like 33 degrees, the water. And they pulled, I believe, 1,000 people out.
Out of 10,000?
Out of 10,000
That's
people.
Pretty good.
3 times the amount that died in the Titanic.
Sure.
Were killed on this, and they never considered it a war crime or anything because they were transporting some military stuff. But a lot of these people were civilian refugees, women, children, that were all just trying to get away from the Russians that were killing everything in their path.
Wow.
And at that point, there was really no sympathy for Germans, civilian or not. So, but that was a pretty interesting documentary. Huge ship. That's what we were talking about. That you look at the size of this
How
ship.
big was it? As big as the Titanic?
I think it was bigger. Yeah.
Bigger. Wow.
Bigger. Just a giant ship, and nothing.
Did Celine Dion sing a song about this ship?
No, help the Nazis. Why did the Nazis that perished in the sea that day?
They need kayaks.
They need kayak. Give it to them. Just let them touch it. Oh, dummy. Yeah.
Well, husband throws everything on the table. Here's my wife's head and feet. How much? 7s, damn it.
The pictures of this thing.
There were
pictures
look at that. and
pictures of the boat.
Video. There it is. What was the name of it? I got the Wilhelm
Gustloff.
Yeah. The brave Nazis that died that day. The innocent Nazis that went into the icy waters. 2 torpedoes slammed into our side. We went in the water. That's when sharks come cruising. Cage goes in the water. My husband Renee goes in cage.
Stupid Renee.
Renee.
What did he ever do except gamble her money away? What a dope.
Here, there, wherever.
Nice.
Yes. Where was the Fuhrer to help them? Yeah, that was a pretty good documentary. Okay, the History Channel. It's
I'm going to have to check
fantastic.
that one out.
Everything Nazi is on my screens.
Nice.
Great.
Also, what do you guys think of Rihanna?
let go, Jurgen. Don't let go. They're both floating on a Jew. Mr. Dorsky.
It's a lovely little ship, the SS Nazi.
And how coincidental the rescue ships did not see them. Get it? I guess you did. Boo! Well,
there you go.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out, actually. What do you guys think of Rihanna and Chris Brown?
Back together again? What?
Back to effing together. Is that crazy?
Yeah, that's something.
She's got to be stupid.
She's one of those women that just don't know when to leave until it's too late.
If the allegations are true, what is she doing? But they were spotted in Miami together at one of Diddy's mansions. You know.
Diddy.
The Diddy.
Why is he still famous?
I have no idea.
But she's one of these girls. I mean, you see this all the time. Oh, he snapped. It was me. I'll give him another chance.
Yeah.
It's another chance all the way up to the restraining order and then the ravaged of a gunfire or knife wounds when you say hello to somebody or someone's bringing you back the sunglasses. It's,
good for her.
Good for her.
I guess she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she knows best.
Whatever. Who are we?
Pummeled about the face, head, neck, and chest area.
I wonder if they'll say, what do they hit you with? And she'll say, an umbrella.
Ella.
Hey.
Ow.
Excuse me, I'm falling. Fell on a button.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I see skid out here in New York.
And then we got this story that's going to drive Jimmy nuts. Jimmy's been following this one closely.
Bernie Madoff and his wife are trying to hold on to the $7 million apartment they have in this building. And that's not all they're trying to keep from the investors he allegedly swindled. The man who allegedly cheated investors of billions of dollars claims in new court papers his wife should be allowed to keep their multi-million-dollar apartment and $62 million in assets. Former SEC prosecutor Robert Himes says it's an uphill battle to convince a judge.
She'll have to do two things. First is show that these assets have no relation to any money from the investors that came into the Madoff fund that was taken out by Mr. Madoff. And second, she'll have to demonstrate where exactly this $62 million came from.
There you go.
They're just pigs. I mean, what do you expect?
He wants to keep his apartment.
Yeah, his money.
And his money.
And he's not on Rikers Island. We're just a bunch of dummies, and we deserve to be robbed.
Absolutely.
We just allow it to happen.
Absolutely.
We really look at white-collar crime like that as this thing that's not really crime. So he could stay at home. We'll talk about his assets and everything. It's a major crime that destroyed more lives than some murders do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this guy should absolutely be in prison.
On Rikers Island.
He should absolutely have every asset he has taken from him, as if you're selling drugs, and the feds bust you. Your house gets taken away, your cars, your boats, everything else that they deem you've gotten through this illegal drug sale, they take away and sell and give the proceeds to, like, fighting crime. Why don't they do that with this guy? And why don't they do that with white-collar criminals, whether you just, hey, you made this money by doing what you did by bilking these people. So we're taking your money.
You sell a little weed and they'll throw you right into Rikers, no problem. But this guy, house arrest in a beautiful multi-million-dollar mansion on the Upper East Side.
A lot of times you got weed under your seat.
We deserve it. We deserve everything we get.
They take your car.
Well, it's also, if you, I think the thing is that what he's doing, what a lot of these scumbags do, is they hide behind their ugly, awful wives. A lot of these guys will turn their houses over to their wives.
Oh, yeah.
And if anybody allows that to happen and doesn't just say, give me that bitch, then we're just a country. If you are cruising a prostitute in your car, they can seize your car.
They can seize your car, yeah.
But him and this woman, this witch, just living there on everybody else's backs.
Yeah.
And
he's going to be able to keep his apartment. You watch. I don't know about
hopefully,
that. You watch. He's going to be able to keep that. He's maybe not going to be able to afford it, but he'll be able to sell it.
Yeah, hopefully when they go to trial with this whole thing, he'll wind up losing everything.
Yeah, right.
I sure hope he's shunned.
How is this guy? He should be threatened with prison, 25 years to life in prison. That's what he should get. It's amazing to me that assault and battery or other crimes which are unpleasant, which don't affect the country the way this thing does. You're right. The white-collar crimes are just, it's sickening.
Because they're all in cahoots together, I think. The judges, the lawyers, the Bernie Madoffs.
Bernie Madoff. This is
they all live in a world that we're not even close to living in.
What he did is a part of why we're in the situation we're in right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
With this economy. It's treason. This is treasonous what he's done to this country.
Well, you got to listen. This guy thinks Jimmy's wrong.
Okay.
Jim in Texas, go ahead.
All right.
Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
You've got a legitimate reason to be upset for losing your money. You are a legitimate investor. Anthony, so are you.
Well.
But you guys are wrong about this Madoff. These people investing in him were scumbags expecting a 50 and 60% return on their money, which is not possible.
They weren't. Hold on.
But they thought it was a legitimate thing.
Yeah, they weren't.
They weren't going into like boiler rooms, going, let's go with this thing. They thought it was a legitimate investment,
and they were expecting. I think it was a 13% return or 10%. And dude, like to say that they were maybe some of the investors are vultures, but there was a Holocaust survivor.
That's all I got. I'll let you guys go.
All right. There were towns that lost their pensions. These are not scumbag.
Charities.
Kevin Bacon, I think, and his wife lost almost everything. It's like these aren't scumbag people. These are just people trying to invest their money.
Yeah.
It's like you're taught invest your money, and this guy was having a nice return, and he was the head of the the NASDAQ at one point. Yep. And the SEC people were scared of him, so he had a tremendous reputation. So you were going with a legitimate guy, who was seen to be on the up and up. You can't get much more legitimate than having run the NASDAQ, I guess, right?
He didn't approach people and go, "Psst, hey, come here."
Right.
It was, a legitimate thing. It wasn't people meeting at some VFW hall to get into a pyramid scheme.
Right.
They were actually thinking they were investing with a legitimate investor, and wow, they were screwed. I guess what he was doing was getting people to come in, taking their money, bouncing it up top, like regular Ponzi scheme, bouncing it up top and saying, hey, look at your returns, dude. And meanwhile, now all the people at the bottom got to be paid off by someone, and after a while, you can't bring in enough new people to pay off the people above you.
They always collapse.
The pyramid crumbles.
Sure.
My question is this. The way the government works is anyone that profited from him because it was a criminal enterprise, the government can now, and there's no statute, go back and get the profits.
Oh, yeah?
What I want to know is, since the SEC was warned by some guy blowing whistles and they did nothing, how are they not responsible for that?
Probably be a class action.
How can it not be? It's like these are regular investors. The SEC is supposed to protect you.
Yeah.
If there's any whispers of insider trading, they're going to come after you. And this guy, the whistle was blown and they did nothing.
Yeah, especially when there were warnings beforehand. I mean, that's definitely grounds to say, hey, screw you.
We got a reaction from one of
screw you, Benny.
One of the investors that got screwed by Madoff. Right?
Bert Ross says he lost $5 million to Madoff and is outraged.
She should be out there trying to help the people whom she's made poor, not to try to protect the ill-gotten gains from her husband.
This is definitely the largest Ponzi scheme in history. It's a $50 billion fraud, and this case is going to go on for at least 2 or 3 more years as assets are being traced.
Just get every dollar from him and from his awful wife.
Ain't going to happen.
Unless they cut a deal.
Lawyer's going to be able to get this guy to keep his money, I'm telling you.
No,
or some of that stuff, anyway.
Unless it's just, I'll tell you where the assets are. But then again, I think the thing they have over his head is prison.
Yeah.
He's got to go to jail. Yeah, I mean, it's either my way or the highway.
I hope you're right, Jimmy. I don't know. I think he keeps his stupid apartment, multi-million-dollar apartment.
Denver Best is like, what's this Fonzie scheme anyway? No, it's a Ponzi scheme. Hey, give me your money, Cunningham.
That was Pat.
Fonzie.
Pat from Moonachie had a Fonzie scheme line when it first happened. Yeah, and it was something about, hey, I'm broke. It was some. I forget what Pat's line was. It was very funny.
Pat.
Yeah. Moonachie.
We're heading toward a break. Don't have time, but Dave and Clinton, Madoff is Madoff or Madoff?
Madoff.
Madoff. Sorry, is worse than a murderer. Madoff is a scumbag. He ruined people. It's Ray the trucker. It's rich people crime. Investors were told their money was secret. That's shown in Georgia. What's the difference between him and Social Security system? That's Charlie in Jersey.
I don't know enough about.
I don't
this,
either.
but
So.
I would imagine there's a difference between him and the Social Security system.
We're paying into Social Security, which is like a pyramid system because people at the top, the retirees, are getting the money, but there's not enough going in at the bottom to pay for the more and more people that are going on Social Security.
Sure.
In a way, it is a pyramid, but there are people trying to fix it, come up with different ways, so there is enough money coming in. But you're right. What is the difference?
Right. Well, one is some scumbag kind of stealing,
Yes.
and one is just we're living longer. So we're gonna fix it.
Oops.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the FU line as we hit the break here.
Thanks for calling the Opie and Anthony FU line. Here's the latest batch of FUs.
You have 7 new voice messages. First voice message.
Hi, I want to send a big FU to the douchebags sitting a couple of rows in front of me at Little Jimmy's show in Philly. Hey, asshole, this show's not about you. Shut up. I hope you drove your drunk ass into a tree on the way home. Fuck you.
Next message.
This goes out to all you dumb BMW drivers. Last week it was a stupid hole in her convertible. This week it's a stupid douche with a dumb streaming metal bumper sticker on your little 5 Series Beamer, and you sat through a green light, you asshole. Making me late for my fucking class because this light doesn't change for another 10 minutes. You asshole. Thanks for being a dick and being part of the problem. You fucking Beamer driver. Beamers are so good. Fuck you.
Next message.
Hey, bedbugs. I'm tired of my balls being a mess. Fuck you, bedbugs.
Next message.
Yeah, I'd like to give a big fuck you to the guy in the one Cadillac Escalade that decided he was bigger than the tractor trailer I was driving and got in front of me and slammed on the brakes. Fuck you, point of interest, dummy. I didn't slow down, did I? Fuck you. You ran.
Next message.
Yeah, I want to give a big FU to my doctor for giving me an impromptu rectal exam right in front of my new wife. Thanks for completely emasculating me. I will never get laid again. Thanks a lot, you crazy Polynesian freak.
Next message.
Yeah, I like to give a big fuck you to everybody that I work with because they're all standing around doing nothing. Joey, Johnny, Tom, Don, everybody. Fuck you.
Next message.
Yeah, this is a big fuck you to my boss. Hey, dickhead. Hope you break your fucking leg out in Salt Lake City this weekend, you cocksucker. Fucking telling me I'm going to get a promotion and then you hire 2 guys and, oh yeah, you got to compete for the new position now? You fucking little dickhead. Fuck you.
End of new messages.
Call the Opie and Anthony FU line. 866-FU line 1. That's 866-FU line 1.
Thank you and goodbye.
Getting right back into this. Opie and Anthony, Louis C.K. in studio. And on TV live, plane landing gear problem at LaGuardia Airport. They're not, what are they saying?
Apparently, the landing gear.
But it looks like it's down.
Has a problem. That could be the problem. Maybe they can't pull it back up. It's halfway down. Maybe it's like that.
Maybe they were taking off.
JetBlue thing where the front wheel is cocked 90 degrees.
Oh, that guy landed that thing perfectly.
I know. Everybody
right on the line, man.
Him to do an endo or something, and he just landed it fine.
That was a beautiful landing. I guess it's not that important because all the other TV stations aren't breaking into it.
Is it? Maybe they don't know yet.
Huh?
Maybe they don't know yet. Maybe Sky Fox HD is the first one on scene.
Why does he keep going black like that? Like that's the plane crash, and they don't want us to see it.
Nah,
it's completely dark now. The footage. All right, back to live.
Yeah.
Plane landing gear problem. Maybe it has a flat tire.
That
would be easy though. You can land that, right?
With flats, they do that all the time. Yeah.
What if something really happened right now? Like, because we're like a pterodactyl just came and
now that would be
just
interesting.
ate the plane.
Louis C.K. in the studio.
That would rule.
That would be great. That's what we all really want.
Yeah. Well, now they're going back to the dopey anchors.
back
so
Yeah, the anchors are trying to figure out what kind of face to put on. Should
Yeah.
it be grim
I
or
don't know. Oh,
You know, let's try to get Captain Sully on the phone and
real
talk about
shame.
this because he landed in a river.
I love how they all become experts. You know.
Yeah.
They're now experts
Yeah.
on aviation.
Well, they put it in a little box in the corner now.
It can't be that important. Or they just don't have patience. That's the news for you. This thing could end in a complete disaster. But look, we got to get to the weather and
can't just-
sports.
That picture's not interesting.
Right.
Yeah, we're interesting.
Yeah.
I guess if I may be a talking head here
Could you
for a
put it on
moment,
that screen, too?
I assume when they do this, they're burning off the fuel.
Yep.
To just in case
burn
there's
less
a problem.
Yeah.
To keep the economy going, actually, just to just burn up all the fuel in there, could you please? So we
Yeah.
can just pay for it
And you got a little shooting at a gas station in Jersey this morning. That's good.
again.
So,
So it all equals out.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I want to hear some of that. I didn't see. Did you see Fallon last night?
No.
I want to hear a little bit of the De Niro because, I don't care who the interview. Letterman's a great interviewer.
Yeah,
Best probably.
And he got Dustin Hoffman. I mean, he at one point it got very interesting, but there's only so much even Letterman can do with Hoffman. Like those great actors are they're terrible. Boring people.
I've explained why though. These interviewers
And nobody listens.
tries to no one listens to me. And we don't get the big enough guests for me to try this out on.
No.
The interviewers are always trying to get this humorous side out of them. They're always trying to get a humorous anecdote out of these guys, and they don't have any.
No.
They're the most unfunny stories. So just ask interesting questions about their interesting movies.
Yeah.
That's all that you got to do. Sit De Niro down. I want to hear about the king of comedy. I want to hear about Taxi Driver. I don't care that he said it 1,000 times. F you. You're on the show promoting some piece of crap because you haven't done anything decent in 10 years. So sit down and talk about Raging Bull.
Is that how you'd phrase it to De Niro?
Exactly. Okay, finally someone asked me a good question.
And he can't deliver a joke, that idiot.
It's terrible.
Two Jews walk into a bar. They own it. Good one, Bob. Next one.
He was better throwing his arms up and going, "My name is Rupert Pupkin."
Would you call him Bob if you were interviewing him?
I call him Bob De Niro, yes,
Yeah.
because then you seem like you know him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
Or
Bobby.
Bobby would be
Bobby's
perfect.
a good one. Who else was there? Bobby De Niro. Whenever someone says that, I want to punch them in the face.
I hate that. We get it. You know the guy.
It was
Shut up.
and the first time I ever realized that my hatred of that I know this guy so I could use a different name was watching the Tonight Show, and someone was out, and it was some Vegas smarmy schmuck that was plugging some gig at the Sands, and he was like, "Yeah, last night we were out. Oh, it was so late, Johnny. I believe it was me, Chuck Heston." And when I heard Chuck Heston, it's like, wait. I want to hit this gentleman, and I think I was 6 years old.
Charlton.
The point of saying a name is to identify a person.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to someone else who calls him Chuck,
Yeah, right.
you say Chuck. But if you're talking to the nation,
The audience.
Yeah.
you say what his name is in the credits of his movies.
Yes.
You're only saying that so you can have people go, wow, he knows him as Chuck Heston.
If you're talking to the nation, it's Marty.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not Marty. Excuse me. I just messed up the whole bit. I hate when they do the Marty thing.
What, Marty Scorsese?
Yeah, sorry. But if you're, you don't say
Yeah.
that if you're talking to the nation.
It doesn't bother me as much if Scorsese is talking about De Niro, and there are guys that you know literally aren't name dropping.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But when it's someone trying to be forced casual to prove their
you're
real
right.
relationship,
Yes.
that's
I bet
enraging.
even Scorsese says Robert.
Yeah.
You think so?
Robert,
Just out of respect for people.
does he touch his arm and go, Bob?
All right, so it's an error in judgment. I didn't handle it well. I should have
No,
had
I
the
mean that
camera ready.
Robert says it when he. No, I don't know what I'm saying.
I love
No,
that.
that Scorsese says Robert when he's talking about him in the third
Yeah.
person.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you want to hear some Fallon?
That prove it.
Fallon started a show last night. He got the big De Niro interview,
Yep.
and people saying it was really rough.
Yeah,
really
that's-
rough. So let's take a little peek here.
Well, he's not even going with the bit. He's not even going with the bit.
How stupid are you?
He said one-word answer, so he's supposed to go yes, no, okay, whatever.
Good.
That's the bit. He can't even take direction in that way and go with the bit. What, Jimmy?
No, he's not, like...
So far...
You think he's not going with the bit on purpose?
Oh, no. I mean, I just think he's being a dope, but I think so far it's good. At least it's entertaining. It's not a bad interview so far. At least he's getting laughs from the audience.
Right.
It's not laughs.
But there's this is the problem a lot of people have in late night. They try to go, let's not do what everybody else does. Well, there's a reason why everybody else does.
Yeah.
Because it works.
Because it works?
Talks, have a conversation. So it's a funny bit to pitch. Like when he says it out loud, you go, oh, okay, here we go.
That's a good one. And then
I don't want to see it, though. No.
And he's getting laughs from the audience because it's De Niro up there.
Yeah.
The audience is compelled to laugh at anything Robert De Niro does.
It hasn't. I'm saying it hasn't been where I think that the audience should be shot yet. So far.
Boy.
He's getting a little desperate now.
He's going to listen to this tape, if he's on the air still, years from now, and get the chills that we got from being the happy to be there guys. All right. Okay. Right. Calm down.
See you next Tuesday.
Yes, right.
That would be funny.
It was poor Fallon. It's like De Niro because it didn't legendarily. He's not a great interview.
Yeah,
and he's actually De Niro is so poor at relaying real life moments. He has to tell both of their parts while De Niro is there.
Yeah. While De Niro's just going, he was doing that in the background, just email. Help the guy out.
He hasn't actually let him into the conversation yet.
No.
He actually hasn't given him any.
De Niro hasn't contributed anything.
Fallon hasn't given him any opening. He's given him
really.
Jokey things that are actually meant to constrict, conversation.
Ask him something.
All right, let's try one more.
Ask him a question.
There's a lot more clips. I think we could do one more, and then we got to move on.
What?
Well, it's.
I don't know what.
When he said, do you wear a disguise, De Niro should have said, yes, at times I dress up like an actor who still does films worth seeing. No wonder nobody recognizes you. So do you have a pimp?
Oh, my God. This is good. Kevin from Connecticut. This interview is raging bull.
Story. He had a story about being recognized.
Yeah.
So he asks him a question, do you ever have a tough time? Well, because here's what happened to me, Robert De Niro, who's the guest.
Here's my story.
I'm going to name drop instead of talking to a name who's sitting in front of my face.
Right there.
I think I got to look. He's probably very nervous. Like
Did
you
he
said.
just bail out of the interview?
It's not that he's nervous.
He's fleeing the interview. He's fleeing the interview.
Fleeing the interview. Oh, he's fleeing the interview.
He's fleeing the interview.
I can't even say it.
Dude, he's nervous. He has an icon on the couch.
Yeah.
And the icon is just a terrible participant. Like, even I saw Brian Williams talk to him, and he had Pacino next to him.
Yeah.
I stood up, he sat down. But he had Pacino there, like, as kind of another guy who's on his level, and he couldn't
I'm a lot lower than his level.
Unless I put on my wig.
Yeah. Where my stilts? He's just walking on stilts.
But even a guy like they just, you can't get anything. You're right, King of Comedy, Raging Bull. I would love to just.
Well, it was Jimmy Fallon's first show, so they wanted to get him a huge star, but they picked the wrong guy because this guy's really tough
he's
to
a
interview.
tough interviewer.
And Fallon's nervous to begin with because he's just, he's taking over for Conan. That's a tough spot right there.
Like, I'm a notoriously cool under pressure interviewer, and I would be nervous too.
They think that
they should have got someone that's fun and very easy to talk to. That's a big name.
They got De Niro because it's an SNL connection, I think. And
Sure, of course.
So that's why they called him in. But yeah, I remember Conan's first show. I was writing on the show at the time, and it was, I think Tony Randall was on the first show.
Oh, my.
Who was not obviously marquee guest, but he's a hilarious. They had him in. We did test shows for like a week before going on the air, and he was on the first test show, and it was just a great interview. It made Conan look good.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tony was picked because of that. He was a catalyst for
Why
being
wouldn't you
funny.
then do that? And why would you give Jimmy Fallon probably the most notoriously hard interview ever
on your first night?
Yeah, first night.
It's just it's a tough.
Just getting that one number. It's getting that one big number.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's like you want to start off running.
And also because you can't see Robert De Niro otherwise. He's very hard to find.
There's a reason for that.
That's why a lot of people.
I'm so stupid. I almost said no, he's not, but I really thought. I kind of could see Louis' face. I'm an idiot.
Wow, he is a wreck.
Yeah.
He is a wreck.
He's having a tough time right there.
Do you think Chevy Chase is watching this going, is that what I look like? Oh, Christ.
Well, there's more, but
I love it.
What?
You want to hear more?
I certainly do.
Please.
This is fantastic.
This is fabulous.
We've been teasing De Niro for years.
All right.
It is painful to listen to Jimmy Fallon, like, stumbling through this. I mean, I understand he's in a horrid position
Yeah, he's
at
nervous.
this point.
That's really hard.
He did fake interviews on SNL where he'd be doing the
Interview
news
characters.
or some character, I don't know, Tracy Morgan would come in as somebody.
He's probably interviewed Robert De Niro, somebody else playing Robert De Niro.
Right, yes.
Here's Robert De Niro's take on the economy and
Yeah,
it was,
yeah. Exactly.
Horatio Sands
Yeah.
or whoever. He's probably done that. And he's
Yeah, just do that.
That would have been a funny first show, though.
Ask
Bring out
those
all the
questions.
huge stars, but it's all the SNL characters
Right.
playing the huge stars.
Playing the stars.
That's something everybody would have talked about today.
Totally.
And a great way to ease into this whole thing.
Or
You
you
know what
have
I mean?
De Niro interviewed, and every time he gives a boring answer, you shock him electrically.
Yes,
You tase him.
something. Snap him out of this horrible interview thing he's got.
thing.
Has he ever talked publicly before?
He might as well have asked him what he had for lunch.
Dude, that could have been one of the most uncomfortable exchanges I've ever heard between a host and a celebrity. That was painful. At one point, Louis C.K. is in studio. He slammed his hand into his forehead and just... It looked like you stopped breathing for a second.
Because you don't really have to explain Tribeca to anybody.
Well, you've been in this business.
The whole country's watching.
Yeah.
Triangle below canal. No one cares.
I'm glad Robert De Niro is here so that he can tell us what Tribeca.
Yeah. What is it? What do people do to get there?
Dude.
Bubba De Niro, what do you do, Bubba?
Why isn't he asking him about any movie stuff?
De Niro's answer, once he got to that point, was, it's like, what is the Tribeca Film Festival? I've never been to it, and I could probably answer it better than Bob,
the founder of it.
It's like anything else. It's like, in Aspen, that friggin', it's a film festival.
But he was just rambling. He wouldn't say what it was. He was just,
the thing
you
that's
could go
hard,
to it.
I think, is
Go to the website.
Jimmy's in some pain there because you can tell when somebody, life is happening a lot faster for them than it is in real life. Because... De Niro says 3 words, and he goes, well, let's give out the website, because I'm going to kill myself.
De Niro gave out the website, said like 3 more words, and he goes, we'll give out the website again. Yeah. Or we'll give out the website. I'm gonna.
All right, one more clip. That's it, though.
That's it. No,
one more, and that's it.
I want to hear it all.
Nope.
Come on, it's great.
Nope. One more.
Stan's comedy.
Oh my God, I'm uncomfortable.
I can't. I don't know if I could finish the show. I'm so uncomfortable.
What's that? Sorry for the guy that had to keep putting on the applause sign for everybody.
Yeah,
to pump it up a little bit.
He's got PlayStation thumb from hitting that button. Ow! Why does my thumb hurt so much? Oh yeah.
I was trying to pump up this interview for everybody.
Oof.
All right, there you go. How did the show do last night? Did it get good reviews? Huh? We'll find out later.
Reviews or ratings?
I'd like to say to De Niro, how did you feel at the end of Righteous Kill when Pacino's big death line was, continued success?
Cha-cha-cha-cha.
How did you feel about that when you read it and then heard it, and we had to call each other Turk and Rooster?
Yeah.
Didn't you feel like a douche? Bob, go.
He'd probably be like,
I didn't feel like a douche per se.
Yeah. Were your dumps bigger when you were fat during Raging Bull? Go, Bob. Did you ever accidentally punch Kathy Moriarty and did it feel good? Your turn.
It did.
Go.
All right, we got to take a break. There you go.
Right.
Louis, what are you promoting? Anything good?
I'm in Boston March 14th.
March 14th?
At the Orpheum.
Orpheum Theater?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a big show.
Yeah, of course it is. Very good. And one of your videos went viral. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, very much so.
I want you to talk about that.
Hope it gets better.
Okay.
That's
but then, like, some...
Give it my best wishes.
That's not that kind of viral.
But then some websites taking the video down, and then it's popping up elsewhere.
Well,
Sam, explain that.
I will.
There's a little controversy, but a nice viral video for Louis C.K. taking over the world, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Opie and Anthony. The Opie and Anthony Show. Louis C.K. in studio. Playing Boston, I don't know, a couple weeks. March 14th.
I'll be in
March 14th, 4 p.m. theater.
I'll be in San Francisco this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Cubs. We live out there.
Now, Louis, what's this viral video about?
This is my last time on Conan. Well,
How long ago was that?
Literally, because the show's gone now. Until they come back. But it was October. And it was
okay.
soon after the economy imploded.
Right.
What happened to the economy?
Guys like you.
Yeah.
But we're still fine.
Yeah, below 7,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who thought we'd see that?
People
the
are very
Dow.
confident with the Obama
Come on.
economic package.
It's the AIG thing this time around.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
The Dow Jones going down is not doesn't mean the economy's bad.
No.
It just means rich people are losing some of their money. That's all it means. It's not a sign. But anyway, so the economy was tanking, and I had been doing this material about it, and so I did Conan and did this set, and I did it in October, really hit a chord, and it started to go viral. It got up to like 300,000 hits in like 3 days.
Wow.
And then NBC took it down off of YouTube.
Why?
Because they're very smart. They're very savvy. This is the thinking. There's a video out there that's being seen by people who don't even watch the Conan show. It's raising awareness of NBC and Conan for no money. It's not costing a dime.
Free marketing.
And it's going to people that want to see. It's not like forced marketing that doesn't work.
Right.
It's targeted marketing, and it's working.
People are seeking it out.
Got to take it down.
Yes.
Now.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it because they're not controlling it.
They got to understand what's going on out there.
They're the dumbest people alive.
It is amazing how stupid. Who gives that order?
You know what? At Letterman, if he does an interview and something interesting happens before it's on the air,
yeah,
they put it on YouTube. They put a little ad on it.
Yeah,
but they also put it up at the best resolution. Like if I go look for a Letterman clip on YouTube, I go to the CBS one that they put up because they put up I'll watch the ad to see it in high resolution. They put out before the show is on. And then that night everybody watches because the YouTube video. But on Conan, this one little interview just starts exploding, and they took it down. And then it was gone for like the whole year for November, December, and January, and now, and then somebody stuck it up on, I think, Spike TV or something, and it started to gain interest again, and so somebody reposted it. I mean, I'm sure they'll take it down.
I'm sure they'll take it down now, yeah.
But it's exploded. It's gotten this huge, crazy amount of hits. It's up to like close to 1 million, one of them. There's two up. One is like up to 250, and one's like it's like 750 now, I guess.
Right, that's awesome.
And it keeps coming from all these different angles and stuff.
It hit a nerve with your stuff. Huh?
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's these different groups of people, because some like real sort of anarchist hippie people go like, yeah, screw capitalism, which is the essence of what I was saying was that I'm glad capitalism is failing because it wasn't working anyway. But then this guy, oh God, I'm trying to remember his name now. Kevin Levine, is that Levin? He's an ABC Radio, really huge conservative talk show.
Rush Limbaugh?
Mark Levin.
Mark Levin.
He played it on his radio show and the whole thing. And then it came on and said, this guy is right on the money. He is, yes, the Obama administration and the liberals are saying things are bad and they're not. And he turned it into this whole... So I started getting all these emails from conservatives saying, yes, you're one of us. And like it's on Christian websites and all this stuff.
Hysterical.
And then I actually got invited to this huge conservative thing. Not this. It's a thing though that Rush goes to and everybody goes to. It's not that
hearing doctor.
It's this big.
What? Is it a hearing doctor? Because Rush has all two empty dishes on his head.
How about a questionable doctor if we're talking about Rush Limbaugh? Get a few pills.
But they asked me to perform at this thing that they all go to.
Wow.
And stuff.
And you said no, obviously, right?
Well, I was working. I would have done it in a second.
Sure, that would have been a good experience.
Just to go.
Well, now we got to play the bit.
Okay.
We should play it.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we link it on onaradio.com so they can see the video of this? But this is getting a lot of talk, went viral for Louis C.K. Check it out.
Those were simpler times, I think. I just feel like we may be going back to that, by the way. But in a way, good, because when I read things like the foundations of capitalism are shattering, I'm like, maybe we need that. Maybe we need some time where we're walking around with a donkey with pots clanging on the sides.
You think that would just bring us back to reality?
Yeah, because everything is amazing right now, and nobody's happy. Like, in my lifetime, the changes in the world have been incredible. When I was a kid, we had a rotary phone. We had a phone that you had to stand next to, and you had to dial it.
Yes.
You realize how primitive? You're making sparks in a phone, and you actually would hate people with zeros in their numbers because it was more like, oh, this guy's got 2 zeros. Screw that guy. Why do I want to? And then if they called and you weren't home, the phone would just ring lonely by itself. And then if you wanted money, you had to go in the bank when it was open for like 3 hours. You had to stay in line, write yourself a check like an idiot. And then when you ran out of money, you just go, well, I can't do any more things now. I can't do any more things.
That's it, yeah.
That was it. And even if you had a credit card, the guy would go, ugh, and he'd bring out this whole shunk, and he'd write,
yes.
You have to call the president to see if you have any money. And
it's all true, kids. You had to call the president, yeah. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
Do you feel that we now, in the 21st century, we take technology for granted?
Well, yeah, because now we live in an amazing, amazing world, and it's wasted on the crappiest generation of just spoiled idiots that don't care, because this is what people are like now. They got their phone, and they're like, it won't. Give it a second. It's going to space. Can you give it a second to get back from space? Is the speed of light too slow for you? Yeah. I was on an airplane, and there was internet, high-speed internet on the airplane. That's the newest thing that I know exists. And I'm sitting on the plane, and they go, open up your laptop. You can go on the internet. And it's fast, and I'm watching YouTube clips. I'm in an airplane. And then it breaks down. And they apologize. The internet's not working. The guy next to me goes, this is bull. Like, how quickly the world owes him something he knew existed only 10 seconds ago.
Right.
And on planes, flying is the worst one, because people come back from flights and they tell you their story. And it's like a horror story. They act like their flight was like a cattle car in the 40s in Germany. That's how bad they make it sound.
Right.
They're like, it was the worst day of my life. First of all, we didn't board for 20 minutes. Right. And then we get on the plane, and they made us sit there on the runway for 40 minutes. We had to sit there. Oh, really? What happened next? Did you fly through the air incredibly like a bird? Did you partake in the miracle of human flight, you non-contributing zero that you got to fly? You're flying! It's amazing. Everybody on every plane should just constantly be going, oh my God! Wow!
Yes!
You're flying. You're sitting in a chair in the sky.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Now, Louis,
but it doesn't go back a lot. and it's not really. Here's the thing. People they say there's delays on flights. Yeah. Delays, really? New York to California in 5 hours. That used to take 30 years to do that, and a bunch of you would die on the way there and have a baby. You'd be a whole different group of people by the time you got there. Now you watch a movie and you take a dump and you're home.
Hey, there you have it. That's Louis C.K. That's brilliant stuff,
Jesus,
Louis.
Man.
Thanks, man.
Very nice. That thing is viral, like we were just talking about. It's popping up all over the place.
That is so goddamn funny. I want to curse.
Yeah.
It is so goddamn funny.
Thanks, man.
Right on the money. God, how spoiled.
Well, just entitled.
We're spoiled, entitled little babies.
The thing is that people expect things to, like, who owes you a perfect day as a consumer?
Yeah.
Like, who owes you that? Like, people think it's in the Constitution that they just have a clear signal without any interruptions. It's as good as it is, the cell service. You know what I mean? And the airplane stuff. They're throwing human bodies into the air like thousands every second. There's like thousands of airplanes in the air right now. And then they get, it's amazing what these people do. And Sully, by the way, this guy who lands this plane on the Hudson, and he's a hero. And then the passengers meet him and cry and show him their ugly babies and say, "Look, this kid's not an orphan because of your heroism." I promise you, seconds, like 3 minutes before he did that, they were on the ground in LaGuardia, taxiing around, and he was making his announcements, and everybody in the back's going, "Oh, could he shut up? I'm on the phone. Drive the bus, you douche. Nobody cares what you say." And they don't even give him the credit, because I've had people say to me that he was that it was a miracle. That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
It was God's hand. Give him the credit. He trained for it.
Yeah, he could have let go of the.
How do you
let
not
go
give
of the controls and everything?
And God didn't land God threw the birds in the engines. That's what God did. But so nobody what it takes for a guy like that to fly a plane, nobody respects it. They just want to go when they want to go. And even if the 40 minutes isn't even making you late, it's just irritating you.
No, you're not getting there and then have to be 99.9% of the people are not getting to their destination and have to be anywhere within 40 minutes.
No.
So you're okay.
You're living a great dream of a life.
Yeah.
Everybody is right now.
It's a great time to be alive.
It is a great time to be alive.
It's just this big take for granted.
Yeah.
The whole bank thing is hilarious.
Yeah, the bank thing, because
we forget
how
hard it was to forget. And you would have to figure out, well, all right, it's a 3-day weekend. Is this going to be enough money for the whole week? You have to figure that crap out.
Yeah, because you couldn't take all your money out.
Right.
And you had to go, well, if I have more fun than I'm planning, I'm going to be screwed.
Sure.
And you'd actually have to stop doing stuff if you ran out of money. There wasn't this
You'd be out of money.
Yep.
This constant
And you'd be
flow.
so bummed because you're like, the banks don't even open till most cases Tuesday.
Yep. I got no money. What am I going to do?
Yeah. You had to often just sit in a chair or in a car and just look around you and go, well, I can't do nothing right now.
And
there's nobody to talk to. I'm not at a phone.
And
I'm just a person.
Leaving your house was like going west.
Yeah.
Seriously, you left your house and you were just out of touch with everybody.
You didn't know what was
You
happening.
hope that the people you said, well, meet me at this bar at 5:30 are going to show up or whatnot.
That's
you
when
can check up on anybody.
This stuff is great. This technology is great. And I've read like comments on YouTube where people say that this guy's a primitivist. This word that means that you hate technology.
You're a primitivist.
Yes, that's not the point. The point isn't that technology is bad for us. The point is that it's as good as it is, and people have to stop. People are so miserable. People spend so many hours poring over their products and then throwing it away and buying another one. Like, it's so far from the basis of, like, being a human being, which is like, I'm going to freeze this winter if I don't make money and buy these certain things.
Right.
You know, like, it used to be you worked at a button factory and then you took your button money and you bought some lard and bread for your kids, and then you save a little money so you could buy your kid one wooden toy at Christmas. But now the toy is an exploding robot that gives you an enema, and and you buy it for your kid before you buy food.
Yeah,
that's the first thing, and you buy one for you, and then you go, "This thing sucks," and you get mad at it. You throw it away and buy another one, and there's this incurable. There's just this misery everywhere. People are miserable. Very few Americans are, like, content.
The phone?
Absolutely right, man. I'm just agreeing with it.
Yeah, the phone thing is really funny, too, because you also forget that people would call your house and no one's there, and they couldn't leave a message.
No,
what if they had something really important? You have to, like, sync up now for that important info.
Whole friendships that wouldn't exist without the ability to connect that much. Because you'd call somebody, and the phone would ring with a dog looking at it for a few minutes. And then in the room the phone is in, like there was a room that the phone lived in.
Yeah. It was
away from the TV.
Phone. It was the phone. You called it the phone. What was the last time you said who's on the phone? Somebody's on his phone or somebody's on my phone.
And you would know, based on who you called, how many rings before you realized they weren't home. Like some people, 2 rings. If that thing wasn't up, it's like, 3rd ring, I don't think he's home. But then, like, grandma, 10 rings.
Yeah, you picture her the sliding door.
Oh, she's got to get, feebly walk somewhere. But there was the rule of thumb where you were supposed to let it ring 10 times before you hung up and realized, I have no contact with this person.
No contact.
There's
and also,
no way I can have contact with this person.
You didn't even occur to you to think they don't know that I called.
Yeah.
That didn't even occur to you.
They'll never know that I called if something happens.
Yeah.
And they may call me and I may not be here. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, people would just people. There weren't even answering machines. I remember a time when answering machines were fancy. That was a fancy thing to have an answering machine. Yeah. Before that, people would just go home.
Only Mannix and Canon had answering machines. Exactly. They were running business.
Rockford.
Rockford. Yeah. Hello, this is Jim Rockford. The song would start.
Yeah. But for most people, it was just somebody might contact you if you know. It's just weird to think of that now.
Yeah. The one thing you said that was very funny was the sparks inside.
Yeah,
like there were.
No, it was a copper coil. If you took apart a phone, coil. Which I did often, it was a copper coil that you made sparks and it went down a copper wire, literally a copper wire from your house to the other person you're talking to. Like cups with a string.
You didn't buy a phone at the store.
No, we rented our phone.
Into the wall. It was Bell Telephone, property of Bell Telephone. It was hardwired into your wall. Yeah. So when you moved in, that phone was sitting there.
Yes, and when you didn't pay the bill, which my mom often would run out of money and not pay the bill, they would come and take the actual phone out.
They'd take the phone.
The phone would go into a truck full of ugly, dirty phones in a pile like Auschwitz, just all laying with their cords tangled together in a big pile.
Dice did a bit about the old phones.
The rings?
The ring, and how heavy they were.
Yeah,
and how you could just beat somebody with them. Now you can't beat someone with your cell phone.
Just the receiver, you could beat somebody to death with the receiver.
Just the receiver, it was a weapon. Yeah. Your phone was a weapon.
It was made of this Bakelite plastic.
Yeah, well, completely unbreakable.
Yeah.
You could not break your phone.
No, not at all.
Although that cord would constantly, the worse you stretched it, the longer and more unwieldy it got.
Then it was a Garrett. It was another weapon.
Yeah, it's a Garrett. You could choke it because that thing would never snap.
No.
You could break a lot of stuff with that long phone cord.
You'd pull it into a bedroom and slam the door on the cord to get your privacy.
And the thing is, the things people are impatient about, too. It's like a guy standing on a street corner, furious because it's taking a little while to load a picture of Axl Rose on his phone for him to look at for a second to remember what the guy looked like for a second.
Oh, my God.
To look at fat Axl Rose now. Yeah. What's he look like now?
I took out...
It's taking too long.
I took out half of Anthony's ex-mother-in-law's house with the long phone cord.
With the long phone cord she used to have. I still do. I'm amazed by technology, and sometimes I do step back and look at it and go like, wow, that is effing amazing that we have this. Things like flight, though, you do still take for granted. Yeah. I know that, but like newer technology, the iPhone, for one thing, I know Jimmy doesn't like it.
Hate it.
But the principle behind it, the fact that you used to have to sit there and think about who that actor was in that movie.
Yeah.
And that would drive you crazy. You'd be, like two people would be sitting there going, I know the name, I know. And for a half hour, an hour, you could not concentrate on anything else. And now you're like, hold on, IMDb, boom, it was this movie, this year, blah, blah.
Ron Jeremy.
All your Ron Jeremy. You have answers at your fingertips now.
I have an iPhone which I don't even use because I like my BlackBerry. That's jackass I am. Like I've got the two leading machines, and the iPhone is for when my BlackBerry breaks because I throw it around a lot. So I was at my mother's house and I was bitching about my iPhone. I go, yeah, I got one, but it's like, and she goes, what does that even do? She didn't even understand any facet of. My mother's a computer programmer, but
oh my God!
But
punch cards.
Yes, she used punch cards. She had
ENIAC,
but consumer products. She doesn't know anything about those, and so she said, "What is that? What's the big deal with it?" And I show it to her, and I just start running her through what iPhones do.
Yeah,
and like I said, think of any song you've ever heard, and for some reason she said "Footloose." I don't know why my mom. and I just go click 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 foot, and I'm just playing it. Like instantly, and she was like, "What? I don't." And then I said, "Think of anything that's ever happened, like literally, just anything in history." So she thought of the most. She said, "Well, I was thinking yesterday about when Martin Luther King was assassinated, and Robert Kennedy was making a speech in the moment that he was shot, and he got told during the speech. So he announced to a bunch of black people that he was speaking to. He announced to them that Martin Luther King was shot, and it was a really dramatic moment. And I just go." I go on YouTube on my iPhone, RFK, MLK shot, and in seconds we're listening to that speech. And my mother was it was one of those things where she was like, where am I? What is this?
Did she try to kill
what
you?
Happened to the world?
Wizard! Wizard! Like Carrie's mother. In the closet. Pray together. We'll pray. That is, I did pretty much the same thing at my mother and Sal's house with the iPhone. I was showing them things. You just pop on, because my mother's just a movie buff.
Yeah.
So I go to IMDb. And she's like, I don't need that. I have my Leonard Maltin book. And she's got this book that she gets every year. Yes. It's Leonard Maltin's book.
Yes.
And it's just got everything you could get on IMDb in a second in this 8,000-page gigantic book.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom,
but
look.
It doesn't have Dane Cook's works in progress.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean.
In production.
Like, and you could cross-reference actors in the same movie, so you could see if they were in the same movie together. Leonard Maltin book. All right, Mom, whatever.
All right, let's take a break. So we're going to link that to ONARadio.com.
Okay.
That's viral video that's all over the place. Louis C.K. Orpheum Theater, Boston, March 14th. All right. We'll continue. Opie and Anthony. By the way, I'm Opie Radio on Twitter. I say that because during the break, Louis C.K. was talking about social networking, and you just joined Twitter, and what'd you say?
It's like having another data entry job. Like all of a sudden, I've got this thing I got to.
It's what you do.
I got to keep my Twitter going.
In between radio jobs, I had data entry jobs, and you nailed it.
Just clack, 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 clack.
I forgot. Yeah.
Add friends on Facebook.
Fake friends.
What's that?
Fake friends.
Fake friends. No, they're friends.
Are they really?
Those are my friends.
Are they really?
Yes.
That's why I like Twitter.
Actually, Facebook apparently is why this clip just blew up. Facebook is what.
Hey, you just throw it around a little bit. I like Twitter because they're followers. You're following people, they follow you. It's not that fake friend crap.
Yeah. I don't
call it what it is. I'm following you. You're following me. You know what I just did with the Twitter? I just linked that video that we just played for everybody.
Did you?
Yeah, to all my followers.
Oh, there you go.
See, that's.
I don't even know how.
But you don't like the Facebook and all that.
I do. No, it's okay, and it's a network, but it's work. It's like I'll sit down and start doing my Facebook and stuff.
Upkeep.
This is what
upkeep.
My daughter has a Webkin, which is a little stuffed animal.
I know the Webkin thing.
It's in front of you. It's a physical animal.
Yeah.
But then you go on and there's a cartoon of it on this website, and you feed it.
Yeah.
Food, you buy it gifts, you earn money to get it things, and life, and then she's 60 and it's over. Like, it's just so much time. I don't think people realize how much time you're spending.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as Facebook. You sit there and you glaze-eyed go through your friends. You manage it, do all the management that's not even fun.
Yeah.
And then you find one or two friends from high school to say, oh, yeah, you're fatter now. That's interesting.
It's like, wow.
And then you go, my life. It's been 4 or 5 hours. I just did that. So I don't let my daughter do this. I don't let her do it anymore.
How old are your daughters?
7 and 3.
Oh, okay. My sister's kids are a little older than yours. And she discovered they got Facebook pages, so she put a stop to that.
Yeah, you can't.
Like 10, I think 11 and 9 now, I believe. And
well, my daughter asked because I just kept saying, no, can I do Webkin? Nah, not right now, honey. I just would say, not right now.
Nah, you're going to waste your life.
And then one day she said, hey, how come never with the web? Like, never. I can't do it. And
she's on to you.
She made a case for it. And I said, okay, I'm not going to just because I don't believe in just telling your kid, because I said so.
Do as I say.
Yeah, like, what are you teaching the kid except for that you're a fat idiot they want to get away from? That's the only thing you're giving them. Why not look, the kid, like, I always give my kids like a day in court because that's a skill they're going to learn.
Yeah, they're going to need that, yeah.
Is how to, like, I'm like, okay, if you have it, let me hear it out. And she goes, well, I like doing Webkins. You say no every time, and I don't understand why. You don't tell me why. And so I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and I explained to her, your life just goes into this hole of waste. When you sit I said, you have your whole life to do that. You're going to probably do a lot of that.
That's so true.
You're going to go on computers, and you're going to spend a lot of time looking. But when you're not looking into a computer, you're reading, you're coming up with games, you play with your sister, you do all this stuff. And I just think it's better for your brain. You're really smart, and that's just going to might make you boring. And so for now, I'm just saying. I said, but if you really feel strongly about it, we'll make some time for it and put like a clock on put a timer on it. And she never asked me again. which I hope is because she thought, she was flattered that I thought she was smart enough to take care of her brain.
I doubt
and that she understood the idea. It also might be just that I intimidated her.
Yeah, just trying to find someone online who will kill you for money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Hey, they're asking for your Twitter name now.
Oh, it's CK. Somebody took Lewis CK, so it's CK Lewis.
Isn't that great? You can't have your own name on the social network.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say hi to Roy in Pittsburgh. Roy.
Yes.
Hey, Roy.
Morning, boys.
Go ahead, Roy.
Yes. Greetings are over with.
You were talking about the answering machines.
Uh-huh.
Way back, like probably mid to late 60s, the telephone company, when it was just the telephone company, would not let you have an answering machine. If they found out that you had one, they would shut off your service.
Answer machines illegal? Back, there's a time they were illegal? I don't remember that.
For recording, maybe?
It wasn't illegal, it's just that the company wouldn't tolerate it.
Illegal, just like a violation of your term of service. You know what I mean? They,
you are not to record, blah, blah, blah? I have no idea.
Right.
I don't remember that.
I think it was kind of like the Big Brother. You know, you can't record your conversations you have with somebody else. That's just right.
All right. Roy, your phone's a little crappy, thank you for that.
Goddamn phone.
Your phone really is.
The phone sucks, Roy.
Hey, we got a hot breastfeeding story for everybody.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Suck it. Suck that milk out of it.
Are you a fan of the breastfeeding?
Sure, it's better for the kids'
When
brain.
you see a young mom out there
for the kids
nourishing her young,
talking about the kids,
it's rarely like a nice firm boob.
No,
it's usually like a flat, like a big a wineskin,
floppy thing. Yeah, a wine satchel at a Grateful Dead show.
Yeah.
It depends how young the kid is.
Yeah,
sometimes they're
little. Yeah, but you have to I don't know. I don't see getting aroused. You have to use Photoshop in your head and edit out the baby all the way to the nipples. You have to sort of airbrush out the child.
It really does just destroy any sexual.
And also generally a woman breastfeeding doesn't look like a perky beer commercial model. She's like a tired woman,
frumpy mom,
that's really frazzle haired, puke on the shoulder.
Yeah,
she's had it with life.
Yeah, just baggy eyes. Hasn't slept in days.
Sit outside the shopping center.
Yeah. No, and breastfeeding is it's exhausting. It takes a huge chunk out of a woman.
Sure,
it's murder.
James from New Hampshire. This is not, capital letters, a sexy story. Well, let's find out.
I think it's very sexy.
Listen to this one.
It was an unforgettable and shocking sight that prompted one driver.
It was an unforgettable and shocking sight.
Was it talking like this?
Oh, every time we play a clip. Every time we play a clip, we gotta go through it. The fake voice douche. It was an unforgettable.
Why don't you just use your real voice? It's not that hard. Just go on, use your real voice.
Just feel
like a human being.
One show does that on the Ira Glass. You ever listen to him on NPR?
Glass, no.
He does this show called This American Life.
Okay.
And he just talks like this. I'm Ira Glass. We're going to do a show about it. He just talks like a person,
right.
And it's through the roof.
No, but
this adds absolutely zero.
You have to talk like this in order to get people's attention, or they'll think you're just a normal person and not the special news person that I am with this voice.
And you have to shed your accent so you can work anywhere in the country.
Anywhere. Yes, I could work in New York.
Unforgettable.
You don't want to sound regional.
It's weird that they take on a voice that they share. It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same accent or dialect, whatever.
It's like rock and roll. It's like that kind of. I don't even know what modern music is, but it's that thing where the girls sing like this. You don't talk like that. Shut up.
It was an unforgettable and shocking sight that prompted one driver.
One second. Also, it's the peaking. It's like you can, with your finger up and down. It's an unforgettable, shocking sight.
You can almost watch the VU meter.
Yes, exactly.
Like working as he's talking.
Unforgettable, sing-songy voice thing I do.
It was an unforgettable and shocking sight that prompted one driver in suburban Dayton, Ohio to...
Ohio? Why are you hitting Ohio? One driver in Ohio.
And he goes, Dayton, Ohio. Ohio.
Oh, we're just picking this idiot apart, aren't we?
It's accurate.
Well, he sucks. Die.
Driver in suburban Dayton, Ohio, the phone police last week.
I'm following behind a lady in a van who is driving while breastfeeding her newborn baby and talking on the cell phone.
Are you goody two-shoes? Shut up.
You're rat. It's a rat. Whole family's rats.
You see what people are doing on the highways these days? Leave her alone. Is she swerving?
Yeah,
So what if an airbag is going to destroy the kid's head forever and her boob at the same time?
That is true.
And more importantly, her breast.
Just blood and milk everywhere.
Oh, God.
Breastfeeding her newborn baby and talking on the cell phone.
Nice. That's multitasking. Nice.
That is
Taking a
the
cell
working
phone call
mom.
and-
You walk up to the scene of the crash. Apparently, she was drinking a Fribble. Strawberry Fribbles all over the windshield. Like, oh, my God, it's not Fribble.
Feeding her newborn baby and talking on the cell phone.
Officers later caught up with 39-year-old Janine Compton at her home.
She did admit to breastfeeding her child while driving. She kind of indicated that it's more or less a routine thing that she does, and that when her child needs to eat, she's going to provide the need.
Pull over, you retard.
Yeah, you can wait, right?
Please. Stupid. Everybody in the story is stupid. From the anchor to the interview to the woman to the everyone on that highway.
Even the kid.
Yeah, just drop a bomb on that community.
What about the eyewitness? You don't like the eyewitness?
Screw him.
He's a tattletale.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to call the local news. Look at that.
Police informed her that all children inside a car must be restrained and charged her with child endangerment. The police report shows Compton claims she knew all about safety, but was more concerned about feeding her baby.
I hate this guy.
Faces up to 180 days in jail
Feeding
and
her
an
baby.
$1,800 fine if she's convicted of the misdemeanor.
It's kind of a cool story, and he made it boring as hell.
It's weird because he started up here, but then he came in between.
Oh, there you got to get serious.
Lower.
Fine.
Baby.
Fine. No one says fine.
Yeah.
Fine. There's no Y in that word. Fine.
It's not spelled F-E-I-Y-Y-Y-Y-N. Fine.
What does broadcasting school teach people?
To be zilches.
Like this.
That's not enunciating.
Like this. You must add vowels.
Y'all's to everything you
Lungies.
say.
What you say.
Fine.
Fine.
Where do they teach you that?
Oh, God.
Why do you do it?
No one needs it.
Every broadcasting school.
It's terrible.
Talk from the diaphragm. That'll get you a job. Got to talk from way down here. Shut up.
Well,
that just took us out.
He's sitting there with a Dunkin' Donuts coffee and a script, reading into a mic.
Yeah. Is my hair okay?
Unforgettable.
Can you do that again? Hit Ohio.
Ohio.
That was real nice, Bob. Thank you. Yes, I know.
Good one. Yeah, is that a take? How do I look? My hair okay?
It's a voiceover, Bob.
5, 4, 3. Hi, I'm here in Ohio.
It just is terrible.
Yeah. It's a booby story, and we're talking about a guy talking. That's how distracting he is.
I think the guy made us all tired.
I'm exhausted.
No, it's like in the
I need a nap now.
in the BBC. If you ever listen to BBC Radio,
Oh,
they have their own
They're the
version.
worst.
Their own version of that.
Every story has AIDS and genocide. Genocide. AIDS.
AIDS.
Genocide.
Don't forget about sushi.
There's a problem in Africa. It's the problem of AIDS. Like they got to go up or something at the end? Money is being sent from around the world. All right, George. And Ringo, what are you doing?
It's horseradish. You're most likely to have come across it as the powerful paste wasabi.
That's the other thing. Subby.
The powerful paste wasabi.
Yeah, listen. A little breath after each word. Speaking. Wasabi.
It's horseradish. You're most likely to have come across it as the powerful paste wasabi that's eaten with sushi.
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 With sushi.
Sushi.
The powerful paste wasabi. Eaten with sushi.
Come across it.
Wow, what happened? I just said across it.
I'm exhausted. I'm hyperventilating.
I'm British.
Stupid Brits.
All right. What do we got? Louis C.K. March 14th, Orpheum Theater, Boston.
Nice. I like that Orpheum Theater.
Yeah, it's a great.
I'm going back to Cleveland too in April, and I think that's where I'm shooting. I'm shooting another special.
Nice.
Either in Milwaukee or Cleveland, wherever we sell the most tickets.
Wait,
basically.
this guy's Tim in Philly. Tim, go ahead. What are you saying?
Hey,
hypocrites. Why?
Hypocrites. How you doing today, hypocrites?
All right, now tell us why.
Whoa, easy. That's tough talk.
Whoa,
hey.
But he was nice. He asked how we're doing.
Fine, thank you.
I'm doing okay, too. I'm a little tired.
How are you?
What do you got, Tim?
Fantastic. Hey, Fat Jimmy. Remember your stupid voice? Opie. Remember your stupid voice back in the radio days?
This guy's really...
I never had a stupid radio voice, to be honest with you.
Are you a radio guy that is bitter or something?
I was always perfect, by the way.
I do. It doesn't matter what
Are
I
you
do.
a radio guy that's bitter? I don't understand.
It's part of the profession. It's part of the territory.
You are a radio guy that's bitter. What radio job did he get kicked off of?
You know, I really don't care. At the end of the day, your voice on stage was awful. Opie, you don't even...
It's your opinion, you douche, you stupid, fat...
I love this guy. I have no problem with Tim. He hasn't said one bad thing about me.
Tim, it's either a bit. Hold on, wait. Caller. Hold on, caller to people who are doing it for a living.
Yeah.
Tim is just annoyed. I never had a radio voice, so where's your criticism? I'm a comic, so I never had a radio voice.
And I openly admitted when I got into the business, I did go with the radio voice thing and realized how stupid it was, and was able to.
I would like to go
change my
further.
whole delivery and go, wow, I'm going to try something different, and it worked out for me.
Who says you have to be like vetted to make fun of something? Who says that you have to have like any track record? What if you did? What if you did have a funny radio voice? And what if Jimmy never was funny once on stage in his entire career?
Right.
Why does that mean that we can't make fun of this guy? Who cares?
Tim,
who says you have to be qualified to rag on somebody on the radio?
What happened, Tim? Let's
what
be
sense
truthful.
of Tim? Why are you so upset about this? Are you in the business? You do voiceovers? What do you do?
I'm not going to get involved in what I do in my personal life, in my professional life. I'm just going
baby boy! Come on, baby boy. It didn't work out the way you planned. Don't be shy. What happened?
Tim, you know, I'm actually going through some tough times, so I really appreciate you bashing me. So
well then don't make the radio phone call on your tough times, baby boy.
We didn't call you, you douche.
What's the matter?
Well, my point is, Jimmy, that voice you're doing...
Little boy, stop yelling.
Jimmy.
You'll never get radio job doing that, little boy.
You're so silly doing the baby voice.
Yes, I am.
You're wacky, aren't you?
Baby boy, what happened?
Tim, why can't you admit the fact that
baby boy, what's that? You're not answering the question. What happened? Did you go to broadcast school? Did you tell them you were going to make it big? I can do it, guys. And now you can't do it?
All right, look.
What's the matter?
Legitimately, though, sir, you're calling here to say that because of the past of people in the studio, we shouldn't be talking about what we're talking about. So why can't we inquire after your past?
Yeah, Tim.
To say if you're qualified to say what you're saying.
Yeah, why not?
Valid point, sir. Answer.
Because I'm not making fun of it.
We're making a living at it.
Yeah, but you're making fun of.
And you're not making a living at it. How's that feel, bum? Keep listening, baby boy.
You're saying who are we to make fun of that?
I really want to know why this hit a nerve with you, Tim. I don't really understand.
What didn't work out, Timo? Come on.
Why is this hit a nerve?
Timmykins, come on.
Will you let me talk?
Why? Who else would let you talk besides the entire business? Sitting at home talking to a mic like Rupert Pupkin, boy.
Ma, please.
Go ahead, baby boy. Now I'll allow you to talk.
Now.
Hold on. I'll allow you to talk on the radio, as was your dream. Go ahead, baby boy.
Jim, remember when you were on stage years ago? You're a high-pitched voice.
Yes, I do.
You're making fun of the inflection of people.
But I'll tell you what, an excellent point, Tim. First of all, I appreciate the fact that you have listened and worshipped for so long. But I will say this. I very soon after that recognized what garbage that was and began poking fun at it and shed it. I didn't perpetuate it by continuing to do it. I knew it was garbage. I admitted I listened early on. This is a guy who's probably in the business for a while.
He's a major.
It's something that permeates the business.
He's a major professional now. This is not a guy just starting out with some kind of podcast or very, very local radio. That's why we have a problem with this.
So what do you have there,
So why is this hit a nerve, Tim? Were you in the business? Did you do voiceovers? What happened?
And I just know you guys just put yourselves on this high pedestal. Like
all pedestals are high, silly. It's all pedestals. There's no such thing as a low pedestal. It wouldn't be a pedestal.
There are pedestals that are lower
no, they're
than
not.
others.
They're not pedestals. They're low. They're steps.
Then like a pedestal can be low relative to another.
I don't think we put ourselves on a high pedestal. I think.
All right, I just don't want to let that one go by.
I think we have a problem with news people and radio people that use that fake voice. We hate it.
Well, I'm on a pedestal, so strain your neck. Look it up, Timmykins.
Tim, I just want to ask you, what is it about me you like?
I think you're just an alcoholic, and I am one too at the end of the day. So I just really
okay.
There you go.
So he's got a problem with my drinking, but who doesn't?
Was there anything else you wanted to get off your chest, Tim? What's not working out for you? You're having some tough times. Let's work through that if you don't mind.
Tim, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what? You're making money selling books off dick jokes, and I'm just sitting here just...
Now, Tim, don't use such language and stop calling under different names. I did make a lot of money, 2 bestsellers. Yes, I earned that. What's the matter, kiddo? You had a dream of writing and you're not quite good enough to cut the mustard there either? Is that what happened?
Screw you, Tim.
What's the matter? Nobody wants to hear what you have to say? They told you were a funny or interesting guy growing up and you're not?
1, 2, 3, cry. Go ahead. Come on, let's squirt some tears.
What is it? You talk about my books. I mean, have you read them? I don't know.
No,
How do you know about them then? Why are they relevant to you at all?
How do you know they're dick jokes if you didn't read them?
Exactly.
That's what he does. It's what he does.
How do you know what I do? Why would you pay attention? Stop being such a worshiper. Come on, kid.
Tim, I'm really confused by your phone call.
Yeah, well,
I'm really trying to get to the bottom of why this bothers you.
Tim
so
called
much.
the other day. He's probably one of those guys.
A man shot himself today in Philadelphia.
A Philadelphia caller to a radio program shot himself once in the head, fatally injuring
because his lackluster career.
Well, so Tim, what kind of what kind of a career did you want to have? You said you have a tough time. You offered that, man. We didn't ask you.
Right. No, I know. I just hate how you guys go about the whole radio.
Yeah, I know you do. But let's get to the tough time. Why the tough time?
Hold on. You hate that.
Ask me questions. You don't let me talk.
Hold on. Talk. You're repeating yourself. That's probably why you didn't make it in entertainment, because you're a redundant, silly boob. Say something interesting and compelling. Here's your opportunity to talk. What is going wrong in your personal life? You mentioned it. Your turn. Go, Tim.
No, you guys are throwing so many questions at me at once.
That's one question, baby boy. What's going wrong in your personal life?
Opie's been throwing the same question at me over and over.
What's because you haven't answered it? Wait, because I really want to get to the bottom of it. We could beat you up all day, but all right, go ahead, talk, please.
You know what?
Go, Tim. Your turn. Go.
You guys have this radio show. You guys can reach out to millions of people, and you don't take advantage of it.
Yes, we do. We have you to calling us, Tim. That's what we wanted to do.
Wait, I want to hear the guy. What do you mean by that?
How do we not take advantage of it, sir?
You guys do not have any kind of production value for your show on many levels.
Yes, we do.
Value.
Well, now the guy.
Now I got to agree with him.
Well, the guy makes a good point there. Maybe we should have pushed on. Go ahead.
You don't think what do we need as far as production value that would help the show?
Sir. I really think you guys walk in the studio 10 minutes before you go on air. Anthony's brushing off some hangover. I don't care. Whatever. Opie's doing his own thing. Jimmy's stumbling in from a stand-up show, and you've got morons behind the scenes over there. I really think that you guys could have a much better show.
This guy's got it pegged.
Why do you listen then, Tim? Like, what is it? What is it about the show that draws you? Yeah, why do you care?
If you knew what you were irritated by Jimmy's stand-up voice when he started, and yet you keep following his career. You know about his books. You listen to this show. It's got low production value. They have no right to make fun of who. Why don't you just turn it off? Why are you making yourself so upset?
Hey, where is Steve C? Is he on the phone somewhere? It's the idiots behind the scenes.
Why are you such a fanboy, Tim?
No, to be honest with you, I was at one point back in WNEW. Right. I have XM in my car. I drive an hour and a half to work every day. I pop you guys on for about 20, 30 minutes. And it's the same regurgitated garbage.
So turn on
a long time to listen. 20, 30 minutes is a long time to listen to something you don't like.
90 minutes to work. Get a better job, educate yourself, and live closer to where you work, kiddo.
If you could realize this whole story I've been telling you, I'm going through not the best of times.
Well, I asked you to elaborate on that, and you didn't elaborate on that, so I have no empathy.
I'm not going to.
Elaborate on it now.
No, Jim.
Exactly. No. I don't want to elaborate. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Stop listening. Put on the XM Comedy Channel or put on another show. Stop torturing yourself, Timmy boy.
I just think it could be so much better.
Well, we think you could be a better caller or not a douche, but it's not working out for us either.
Oh. God.
You're not elaborating. You're a radio caller who offered nothing about yourself.
What, do you want me to write a book about it? Something that you've done twice?
Yes, and that you couldn't do.
What a weird thing.
Yes,
like
I have done that
somebody
twice.
who has written 2 best-selling books twice.
What do you want me to do? Succeed like you've done? No, Tim. Just keep driving 3 hours round trip to work and spending an hour a day listening to us like a good boy.
The same redundant crap we just regurgitate every day. Don't you realize we talk about our life's experience here? We don't throw a bunch of fancy production in. We talk about our lives. We talk about our political affiliations. We talk about anything that comes to mind because it's a talk show. It's not a phony show where people put on a voice and do things. Don't you find that slightly refreshing?
To some extent, but the fact that you guys could do so much more with that idea, you guys.
Can I ask you? Can I ask for one example? What is one thing that you wish you heard on this show that you don't get to hear?
It seems like the show's mailed in on such a consistent basis.
Forget what the show does that bothers you. You said something that was like positive and optimistic. That there are so many things that they could be doing. So just give me one example of something that you think they could be doing.
Well, I just look at the fact that every time a caller calls in, especially
That's another criticism, you stupid douche. Offer an idea. You're being given an opportunity. Offer one idea.
Let's hear what he says about the caller thing, and then hit him on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Back in WNEW, when callers came in, you were receptive towards them. You enjoyed them. A female calls in, you call her out for having a dirty womb within 20 seconds.
What? No, we've been.
That's
nicer to the female callers.
Wait, that's the constructive idea.
We have a lot.
That's what we can be doing better.
We have a lot more females calling the show,
and they do have dirty wombs.
Yeah, of course they do.
And no,
every womb is dirty, essentially.
That's what you had, Tim.
Got blood and goop in it.
Be receptive to callers.
You've been given quite a bit of time on this show.
We've been. I don't.
Yeah. You don't think we're receptive to callers?
That's
it.
That would be his contribution to the meeting. I think we need to be more receptive to callers.
You do. You know what? You sound
Tim.
like an awful PD.
Yep.
Someone that couldn't make it on the air is now telling a successful program, relatively speaking, a successful program, that you have a better idea.
And your idea is like this vague, washy, bummer.
Be more receptive to the calls. We've been receptive to you.
Did you work in radio, Tim?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we know that.
All right,
Doing
where?
what?
Doing what?
I'm not going to go into that because I'm still trying to be in. I'm not going to talk about it.
Why not?
Real honest radio guy. What's the matter? Why don't you stop being a wannabe and just take some charge of your life and say who you are and what you do? Stop
honest.
cowering.
Or even just speak generally about what area you were in.
It's annoying.
Should we be less honest on the show like you are? Is that something that's good? Or do you like the honesty of this program?
No, that has nothing. I'm not trying to get at that. It's the fact that you guys reach out to millions of people, and I think you're failing at it. I really do.
We're failing. You're calling anonymously and cowering without just saying who you are or where you work because you want to give an anonymous criticism.
Do you know people
You're
know
like a girl,
us?
Man.
People know us pretty intimately based on what we say on this program. So I think we put a lot across. When we talk every day, I think people know me, Opie, fans of the show know us all pretty personally. What are we not doing that we could be doing aside from, your phone call?
The callers, which empowers you more. Go.
Yeah.
No, I look at when I compare what you guys are doing now to what you did in WNEW. Remember when you guys first got syndicated all over the place?
Yeah.
Those syndications started falling off very quickly because the format of the show did a complete 180.
No,
everything about it.
Our syndications didn't fall off.
Not at all. We got fired.
We got fired for the church thing.
You're so
That's
dumb.
when you're right. Our syndications fell off very fast.
On the radio.
One day we lost every one of them. You're right. That was very fast.
You're as ill-informed as much as you are cowardly and languishing in anonymity. You like to be anonymous. That's why you're failing, Tim.
I don't. You guys, when you came over on XM,
you're jealous.
And
jealous, baby boy.
Here comes the hushing and the baby boying.
That's what you are, and that's what you're doing. You're a jealous little boy, and you don't even want to say who you are. You want to just call anonymously and then go back to your anonymous life until someday you make it in the business.
Yeah, whatever. You know what?
I'm going to work 50 times harder, and I'm going to be 50 times more famous than you.
Yeah, and whatever.
Right, Rupert.
That's good.
Rupert Pupkin. We got him on the phone.
You think like a chick, and you answer like a chick.
You have a Pride and Joy card I could have?
Hey, it's unfortunate that you guys have this great outlet to reach out to tons of people, and you do a bad job.
But you don't think we're reaching out. You don't think that going on every day and discussing our lives and what affects us and the news and all the stuff we talk about on a daily basis without throwing in pre-produced bits that are bought by companies or having some hack weather guy come on and do his wacky stuff. You think what we're doing is not the most or the best we can do?
No, but not even close.
All right, listen.
Not even close.
With what,
don't even have
hold on. With what Anthony's saying,
You're
what
amazing.
radio show do you enjoy listening to?
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
Besides you guys, are you talking terrestrial or are you talking...
Whatever. What radio show do you like?
Got to answer carefully.
There's a radio show based out of Philadelphia, very well produced. Basically, what you guys were in WNEW. It's the Preston and Steve show.
Oh, my God.
That's your show.
Tim, no offense, but I can't talk to you anymore. That crap is such hack radio. I can't even tell you.
It's if you enjoy it,
you
fine,
just
but
enjoy a different listen. Now you lost me, and I was sort of trying to listen to you and keep an open mind. Those guys are hacks, and I don't understand why Philly eats it up. But the blue collar beer drinking dudes hate that show. Hate it.
I understand.
Tim, you just lost me. That's what is wrong with radio, that hacky crap.
Tim yells a lot for a caller.
And granted, they do very well in the ratings, and for the life of me, I don't understand why. There's no way we'll ever be like a Preston and Steve
hacky
show.
Stuff always
never.
It is.
Never.
I'm not asking you to be like one.
But we're just in different places, Tim. Now I'm involved in the conversation. We're in different places. Your taste is so much different than Anthony, myself, Jimmy, and our listeners. We can't even agree on anything.
Does it bother you, Tim, that if you stop listening, you won't be missed, and we certainly won't care?
What does that even mean? No.
Then why are you listening? Then why do you put yourself through it? Just go away. You can't win this. You can't control it. We've heard you. We don't agree. So go away.
Yeah, dude, the Preston and Steve show. They never did anything outside Philly. They never got national attention. Never got syndicated. I don't understand why that show's popular, and I'm certainly not going to sit here and try to figure that out. I just know that's not the type of radio I want to do or will do.
You're jealous. You're a jealous wannabe, Tim.
Wow.
No,
if you would have said other shows, then I might have been like, all right, you're making good points. But then you throw the Preston and Steve. Wow.
You're jealous.
From the production value that they do.
Production value.
Oh, what a wannabe.
Do you understand a talk show and a production value-based show? It's two different things. We do a talk show where we sit and talk and discuss things. Do we need pa-choom and production behind it and some kind of friggin' sounder to hold your attention? We love sitting in a room and discussing our lives together, and listeners call and have the opportunity to do the same. What are you talking about, this production that we need?
Right. No, I'm saying basic values. Like, hey, we're talking about a U2 song, but let's not play it. Let's just talk about it. I have no idea what the hell half this stuff you guys are talking about when you guys are talking about, oh, I like that U2 song. Yeah, me too. Oh, but that other one.
We haven't even talked about the U2 song.
And by the way, I've been on this show. I've been on this show many times, and every time a song comes up, I'm amazed at how quickly I'm hearing it.
I know.
It happens right away. Like you just reference something and it comes up, so you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's something we really do try to do.
And by the way, these guys are doing a show. They're doing it the way they want to do. Who owes you a show that you want? Why don't you just play the show you love in your own head?
Well, it sounds like you got the show you like, Preston and Steve, so listen to them. They're on the same time we're on.
If these guys do a show that other people don't like, then people will stop listening and they won't be on the radio, which is happening slowly, but,
All right. Tim, the bottom line is this. If the show wasn't working, what will happen to us is what happened to you.
Yeah, it's a very Darwinist system.
Failed.
You have failed. And you're jealous, and you're one of these failures who sits at home and cries like a little baby.
Yeah, because the rest of the world considers
differently.
The rest of the world considers it a very binary choice. You turn it on or you turn it off. Nobody cares. You don't sit there and why isn't this the way I like it? Because they're not you. They're somebody else doing what they do. So listen to a show you like. Don't listen to this one.
Yeah.
You have no vote here. What are you, a stockholder?
Go on the message boards, too, because you seem to like anonymity. Since you're not making it in the business, you like to call up anonymously. Go on the message board.
I'm
Just
sure he
make
does.
up a funny name. Of course
this
he
guy
does.
writes really long comments.
You want to be heard, Tim.
Really long. And then he takes somebody else's comment and parses it and answers each part.
Oh.
All right.
Tim, we
business has rejected you. And, just go be heard somewhere, silly.
I don't think what you're doing right now is going to repair your personal problems. I think you're taking a huge out of, go just tell her you're sorry instead of doing this.
All right.
We've entertained
Hang up,
you.
call her, and tell her you didn't
Tim, we
mean
got to
to
let
hit
you
her
go,
in
all
the
right?
face.
Yeah. Thanks for the
All right,
call.
guys.
Best of luck.
Best of luck, Tim. You just keep listening, kiddo. You keep listening and being jealous in your car.
I think Danny has got the weenie in the butt. It's perfect. We'll end with.
I just saw this last night. I was laughing my ass off.
Louis, great job today, Orpheum Theater, March 14th in Boston. Jimmy's going out to San Francisco
for Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Cobb's Comedy Club.
Oh, you have a gig? I just thought you were going out to make
yes,
friends.
I want to go out there in my chaps and tie my shoes and see how long it takes. Wait, quick, production! A man in chaps! Quick, get a sound clip! Oh, sorry.
For Tim, because he's still listening, a lot of production value here.
Good
Check
boy.
this out. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, okay, we've got our first contestant. Let's hear Weenie's catchphrase. Dan no funny. I think we have a wiener. And that's Dickie the Punchline Donkey on 97.1.
Dickie the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1.
We did.
On the radio. In the morning.
FM.
WQHG. Cool Weekends.
In the morning.
On 97.1.
97.1.
Would you get cereal on you? Get a little on you?
Yogurt.
Where's Louis? I hear him mumbling. Is that you? There you go.
You got some AIDS on you?
You got your laptop out. What are you looking at? Anything good?
Oh, no, something I'm writing, and I have to transcribe some things from another thing to a thing.
What is this?
I don't know. I would say what?
Pantera.
Oh, it is Pantera?
Mouth.
God, I was going to go with...
Mouth for War. It's off of Vulgar Display,
okay.
I do believe.
There you go. I like.
It's that little rock and roll.
Oh, rock and roll.
Opie and Anthony show here on the
What did Dow do?
Potty Mouth
All right,
side.
Dow's moving up a little bit.
Is it?
Buying opportunity? Yeah, right. Who knows anymore?
Yeah, like
After
I said,
yesterday's disaster.
everybody really,
It's funny,
Wall Street really convinced that things are turning around.
I was hearing on the radio once that Warren Buffett is buying stocks, because his whole philosophy is, what is it? Be comfortable when others panic and panic when others are comfortable, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's going, hey, good time to buy everybody. And then 2 days later, it said Warren Buffett had his worst year ever, and he's really worried.
Yeah, and he's really mad.
Yeah.
He's usually an optimist, but
that's the thing.
he came out. I think
sign is
he
bad
came out
now.
yesterday or the day before or something, and he's more pessimistic. So people are like, "Oh fuck,
that's bad news."
He's not happy. He's saying there's going to be a while before this thing turns around.
When you look at some of the lowest Dow figures we've had since '97, and then other companies that are posting all-time lows. Big companies, not just...
But the Dow Jones goes up when unemployment goes up. The country hurting are indicators to buy and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not
this
really
time,
an
though.
accurate measure of how most people's lives are going. It's if the Dow goes down, that just means who fucking can buy stock? I mean, out of real people in the real world.
Yeah.
Who can really fucking invest in stock?
I think what you're supposed to do, what you're told you're supposed to do when you get a job is tuck some money away and save it. That's
Right.
like phase one. You get a job.
Well, that's the thing is that
save
Americans are saving more money now. American savings accounts are higher than
They're
ever.
petrified to put it
right
in
now.
anything else.
But that's good. That's good. It's things have been so fucked up for so long. Just exploding credit.
Yeah.
People having shit they can't even come close to actually affording to have, and not putting any money in the bank and just living for the for the retarded moment.
Check to check, you know.
Just fucking from your ATM card, you get the money out and stick it right in your asshole and just shoot jizz all over your fucking stomach. Like just constant flow.
Yeah.
And now people are going, well, maybe I save, maybe I buy things I need. And that makes the Dow go down because people are just being stupid. So that's good. It was too high. The Dow was too fucking high. 12,000 was
fucking
crazy.
high.
Fucking high.
I was talking to my financial guy, and he actually said, and I didn't want to hear this. He goes, "Well, you know, you got that safe in your apartment. I would suggest you put money in it." I'm like, "Oh, that's good." That's what your buddy says at the bar, not your financial advisor. He's like, "I would suggest you put a few dollars in that safe."
Yeah.
How they get
I know you're hearing stuff you never heard before. That person.
Right.
That talking head with the number scrolling under it that you always turn the sound off on.
Yeah.
Turn it up and it's just a woman saying, and then melt the gold and make a calf unto your god and carry the calf around and kill a virgin. This is the new recommendation from, Merrill Lynch.
Yeah, I've never...
Turn up the volume and say, bury your money in the backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
You've never needed a
Diamonds are an
smelter.
excellently portable way to escape the country.
So true, man.
Swallow the diamonds inside of a condom.
It really has gotten to the point where, you just... Should you buy gold and just bury it like a pirate?
But see, I'm afraid of doing that because gold is so psychological. The idea that it has...
guy.
I have some gold coins.
Money is more
those
psychological
gold coins
than...
that I bought they were like $700 each, and it's up to $9.90 an ounce right now.
There you go.
But I would never put everything in gold because gold is this idea that it's worth something, and tomorrow everyone could say gold is
but gold has more realism to it than cash does.
Yes, it does. That's true.
Like it's hard to believe and really grasp. But
Louis makes a good point, though. If the whole world gets together and go, you know what,
this ain't worth shit.
The gold should not be worth shit, and that'll solve all our problems.
Mm-hmm.
But
and
let me tell you something. If that happens, Lou, we're in trouble because our money is all based on Fort Knox.
Right.
So if the whole world goes, we're in deep trouble. What's that?
It used to be.
It's not anymore.
When Goldfinger was made.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, they took us off the gold standard years ago.
Yes. Long time ago. The gold in Fort Knox is just no.
What if we find a
gold in Fort Knox? Okay, 1960s, Jim.
What if we find a big pit of diamonds, and then next thing you know,
but don't you?
There's too many diamonds.
Don't you know about the diamonds?
What?
The beers, the diamond beers.
Is it the diamonds or the beers? What are you talking about?
The beers.
De Beers, the diamond company. De Beers.
Yeah. I know. Go ahead.
They actually don't have a office in America because they're illegal because they're such criminals.
Right.
Literally,
human rights.
They're not allowed here.
It's just awful.
It's not because of that. Their practices, like economically, there are way more diamonds than there are like fucking rocks in your backyard, in your gravel driveway.
For real?
There are but the De Beers company hoards them. Like, they use these, like, fucking cartels and armies and stuff and warlords.
Really?
They hoard diamonds. They have a massive load of diamonds, and they control the price by meting it out how much they want to. And then every time a competitor starts making diamonds,
they kill them?
They flood the market with diamonds and lower the value of it.
Wow. And then aren't they so
that company
beautiful
goes
and
down.
Sparkly?
Yeah, but they're common. They're fucking
common.
They are. They're not that. And if the De Beers company tomorrow could say diamonds are worth fucking Starburst fruit chews.
Well, so don't buy those.
Yeah.
Where are they based out of?
My mother's cunt.
No, Jesus.
I don't know.
That must be a huge company.
You just whatever it is, massive.
With fucking...
it's crazy.
Good ventilation.
No, it's about 15 big vessels, big...
the main guy...
no, every time you hit a gap in my knowledge, I just go to my mother's cunt.
So the main guy the main guy for De Beers on his way out could just say, you know what, I'm going to fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Why? I'm leaving this planet. Who gives a shit?
Diamonds aren't worth anything tomorrow.
Right.
That's actually right.
Yourself.
I just did some research that says that there's more of a man-made shortage about diamonds than there is a natural one. The distribution of the number of diamonds put on the market each year is very regulated, and there are enough diamonds to give each man, woman, and child in the U.S. a whole cupful.
Yes, a
whole
cupful. A cup full of diamonds.
Wow,
in the
2
morning.
countries, 1 cup. Take those ribs, you.
What the fuck? I didn't know that. I thought that was a.
I saw it on 60 Minutes.
It's kind of like OPEC. So, they take the oil and say, well, we're just not going to pump as much out.
Except for oil is a resource that's used by the the
supply and demand, my
billions
friend.
of gallons.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. Diamonds. If you are...
They're a girl's best friend, I hear. Oh.
Yeah, because girls are cunts and they don't care who dies for their fucking sparkles.
Yes. That's actually too long for the slogan, but I like it.
I like that. That's a little slug line. That's nice.
That's
De Beers.
Yeah, Tiffany. Tiffany should use that one. Tiffany's. Wow, I learned something today. I had no idea.
It's a horse shit thing.
Education.
Can you check where they're based out of, Danny? I would love to know, mention the guy who runs it. Who runs that company?
I don't know. It's
How
a
fucking
family.
powerful is that?
Hitler.
De Beers
It's
are a family.
amazing.
It's Ted De Beers.
Ted De Beers.
He puts out just one diamond, I think, though.
Yeah, one diamond a year, and you got to fight over it.
Diamonds for every man, woman, and child. A cup made of diamonds. Diamond hats.
It's a funny visual.
Diamond tires.
That doesn't make me feel good.
Headquarters are in South Africa.
I knew that. Jesus.
I'm starting to think I should put my money in diamonds. You know.
Yeah. No,
feel
you
like
can't
it's
do- there's
always-
nothing safe. There's nothing. Money isn't a thing.
Right.
Grow a garden. That's
Well,
all
my
you can
financial
really do.
advisor shouldn't
So you
say
can have food.
put it in
when
your
it's-
safe, though.
Yeah,
I was
that's-
hoping
You know what
that
it
he
is,
could
though?
figure something a little better than that.
No, I was watching.
could have done that.
watching one of those financial shows, and they're all talking this round table.
Yeah.
and they're going, "Well, this is," and they're just knocking down everything. Oh, how about GE? Not so good. And I just keep knocking them all down.
Could
and
take
then
a while.
Finally, the guy goes to the big expert. What's the thing then? And the guy goes, "Stick some cash in your mattress." And everybody laughed, and then went, "Really?"
He was
and
serious.
He goes, "No, stick cash in your mattress." Like they weren't kidding, and they all looked kind of pale as they went to the credits. Like, oh my god, we actually just said that.
We're
That's
at
real
that-
advice,
And it
We're
was
at this
real
point.
advice. The financial advisor would always tell you, don't put money in the bank when there's low interest, because you'll have the money in the bank, but the interest rate will not outweigh the cost of living increase over the years. So you're actually losing money having it in that bank.
Well,
and I would always sit there and go,
stuff that are offsetting.
well, no, you know what it is though. If you have a lot of money in a bank account, they have like where you don't pay a fee.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I couldn't grasp it. I'm going, I understand what you're saying. Like if I'm making 1% on my money because the interest rate's so low, but if I have X amount of dollars in the bank, in a month from now, I'm going to have X amount plus 1%, not down $18,000 because the fucking stock dropped. I don't care if it doesn't outweigh the cost of living.
No, exactly.
I'll deal with that. I just want to know that I'm going to have what I don't need that much. Just tell me I'm going to have what I started with.
Here's what I don't get though. Like when money, when like with inflation, like that idea that you take a truckload. Like there was a time in our country where you needed a wheelbarrow of money to buy a loaf of bread. That whole
yeah.
But if those people, those dollar bills that they had in that wheelbarrow, if they held on to them, and then when things got good, isn't that now
Just
worth
wait a while.
shitloads of
Now
money?
it's worth a
that
bunch.
$1 million you spent on a loaf of bread.
Just
wait. Don't buy the bread with it. Steal
hold
the
off.
bread like a man.
I remember our
Hold off,
financial.
and then you'll have $1 million.
I remember our financial advisor, because Ann and I have the same guy. He actually bragged to me. He goes, "Well, I'm losing less than the other guys, so that's why you should continue with me."
Wow.
And I'm like, that was his pitch, though, because it got so weird out there. It's like, no, you still want your money in these investments, and you want it with me because I'm certainly losing less than the other guys.
I'm using mine to put
And as a
equity in my
consumer,
home.
I'm like, what? That doesn't make me feel good.
No. I don't know. My accountant called me like after the biggest crash
October,
day.
November,
and he said, "You're the only person I got good news for because you don't have any fucking money in anything." He said, "You're the only client I have who lost nothing."
He called
today.
you to make himself feel
Yeah,
better.
exactly. Because I had no.
He had
'cause I have
such a rough
nothing.
day. He's like, who on this
Yeah,
list is
exactly?
I could call to
You
pull myself up.
you really don't know what to do with your cash.
No,
I just put it in. Like I said, I put it in my home equity.
I just paid mortgage. Like, what else can you do? It's like, I'm sick of paying the bank interest.
See, and then I go, because that's the other thing people say. The one thing that's, that land is perfect because there's always more people, there's never more land.
Yeah.
But then I think, but then there's going to be the revolution, and the brown people are going to say,
you don't steal my land.
I don't care what your lease says. I don't care what your title says.
That's why you need to buy guns.
You need to buy a gun,
guns
and
land.
One of the solutions to the woes out there, the economic woes, is a situation.
Is what?
A situation. Less people.
Plague or something.
Some kind of situation will make things a lot better.
We're reaching some kind of limits here. There's just not. The thing is, it's another reason again why it's good that this shit's happening, because you can't keep getting more this idea of wealth that's not based on, hey, we just found more stuff in America and we're selling it to other places.
Right.
It's just we're selling each other experience and orgasms and just trading money to the point where there's just money that's not based in anything. It's not based on some gold.
Yeah.
It's not based on that we're carting more fucking oats to China. It's this, we're selling our debt to China. That's our big, that thing that people say now that's our biggest export. Is debt. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That outstrips by far any cars we make or any steel.
Yeah, we sell in debt.
It's the biggest thing that we sell is buy some of our debt, and now we owe you the money instead of to
we owe you
Bank
money
of America.
Plus.
Yeah, so that's
plus
what
interest.
Why wouldn't that crumble? Why wouldn't that stop and go like, well, there's not more stuff?
Because we have atom bombs. Like, that's what I mean.
No, I know, but
we
inside,
have atom bombs.
It's not going to be an invasion. It's an implosion. It's just that we don't have the fucking resources or even the education.
No, I think eventually
or the talents
or
to
the wherewithal.
Wherewithal,
Jimmy.
I think eventually we'll just say we're not paying you back, and then if you argue with it, we will just drop huge bombs on you.
That's fine, but we don't have anything to give each other anymore. We don't have anything. At some point, you
Come up with a widget. It's just widgets. They're just fake things. We're just trading widgets for paper.
Yep.
For imaginary things that are worth little fucking little things on an abacus.
I remember I was in Arizona once and I stopped at a gas station that's also a Nathan's Hot Dogs at a Subway.
Wow, in Arizona.
Subway, Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, 7-Eleven store.
And this pasty, skinny, malformed white American kid with like chunks out of his hair, like he just cut his own hair like he was brushing it in the morning, just to keep the length down. I just pictured him looking in the mirror, half asleep, like literally just using scissors like they're a comb. Yeah. And then he's selling a fucking Subway sandwich to a dude that's him. Just there's no difference between the two guys. He made it for him. They're just both sleepy. Can you put onions on it? And he goes, yeah, these onions? Yeah, okay. And then I looked at them. I'm like, why don't you just eat it? Who cares which one he eats it? Who cares which one he eats it?
Nothing really being exchanged there.
Oh, that's great.
We're just these people looking at each other glassy-eyed, making consumer choices to each other. Yeah. And one guy's getting paid and one guy's eating the thing, but what's the fucking difference?
What amazes me is what the world is drastically changing, and Bush. This was all happening, and how did Bush skate?
I know.
This was all ready to happen, and he was just skating to the end of his presidency.
Yeah. Did they see it, though? Because the whole world economy got hit. London got hit.
The world economy.
No, they did.
The signs, man.
They did, because the seeds for this were planted a long time ago, and people just kept pushing off the idea of doing anything about it.
He just didn't want it on his watch. He just wanted to get to the end of it.
There's a great story on NPR that tells the entire story, like from fucking front to finish. It was this long thing they played.
Right. Of course, it's NPR.
Fascinating how far back it went.
I'm not blaming Bush, by the way. This was obviously all just developing while he was in office.
Well, Clinton didn't help either.
Sure.
Clinton was another.
Just fucking Reagan, man.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is it was coming to a breaking point, and he was like, not on my watch, man.
No.
Get Obama in there and let him deal with this shit. Where's my helicopter? I'm out.
Yep.
Is it a bad time? Investments now, it's like, what do you buy into? Like, I invested, there's a company, and what they do is they go to people's homes.
Sorry, Jimmy.
And they do oil paintings of you and your family, and the paintings are about $8,000. And this company's like $300 a share. And I think that in an economic crisis, people want oil paintings of themselves for their families. And they go,
what a wise investment
during
these tough times
to come and paint oil paintings of them.
You know what? There is the story about this painter I saw on I think it was on 60 Minutes. This guy who's an American painter, and he paints just shitty landscapes like you see like in a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
But he became hot as a painter. Like people just really dig him. This is to me like a great example of what is wrong with the whole fucking world, country, really. And he paints these shitty landscapes. And they're so hot that he just makes prints of them, like they're just reproductions. Yeah. But then he adds a couple of dabs of paint to the print to make it original,
Holy
and then signs his name. And and crazy Americans buy these for like $30,000, and then they trade them like they're a big hot. It's like a hobby to buy his paintings. But people like mortgage their homes to buy his paintings. They get obsessed. So they showed him. He flies into Houston. In a private jet and goes to this big hall, and it looks like a EST meeting or something. It's thousands of people, like he's God, and he's got a headset, you know, like Garth Brooks, like he's kind of like a Garth Brooksy cowboyish kind of guy. I'm a painter, man. Watch this shit. And they have all his paintings up on stage, and he's signing them like super fast, and an assistant is just taking one away, and he signs it, takes another one away, and he signs it, and he says, "Every one I sign is worth another $10,000." And he signs, and people are standing and applauding.
Oh my God!
That he's just
printing money.
People are so excited that he's rich and that they're giving him money.
He must be like, is he from another planet? Does he have hypnotic like powers?
He's just got that drive. He's got that thing that people like more than anything, that somebody's successful and rich. They're so excited that somebody's rich. You know?
I'd love to be like one of those people that can just go in front of a stadium and just talk about how great you are, and have people just be like, yes,
and they throw. They're so excited that somebody pulled it off.
They're throwing money, and it's usually some religious thing. You know, I gotta get a cult.
It's a lot. There is a comedian in the world who succeeded that way. The number one thing people love about that comedian is how successful he is. Like if you look at people writing about him, the first thing they say is, "Look how many of these he's sold, and look how great." And they don't. The germ of like what he actually does, that's arbitrary. He's a success story.
Yeah.
Look how many friends he has on this thing, and look how much.
Look at Tony Robbins. For years, he was like fucking the lurch of of being amazing.
Yeah.
And he'd get out there and just tell people how to make it.
Yep.
And they were fucking like falling down crying watching this guy. How do you pull that off?
And a small percentage of those people will ever make it, even though they buy right into his concept.
No, it's
Thomas
amazing.
Kincaid?
None of them.
What?
Thomas Kincaid, the painter.
I think that's his name.
No, it's Reuben Kincaid.
Reuben's his agent is his brother.
Oh, is it?
Yes, Thomas is
Once
the
he got rid of that pain in the ass redheaded boy,
yes,
he was able to concentrate on his brother's career.
Fucking pedophile. He's chasing after that little redheaded boy.
How about this though? You know, you guys are poking fun, but it's a time now where you can invest. And I'm not on the. I got on the ground floor.
A few shares, yeah.
But it's a company that makes it's a combination hat, AM, FM radio. And I think that in times like this, people like to walk around.
Does it say anything on the hat? Does it say anything on the hat? Like, don't bother me, I'm listening or something?
AM on one side, FM on the other.
That's it?
And there's speakers on the inside of the hat, and they aim towards your ears. And you can play it very, very loud. And I just think people like that these days.
It's amazing. I believe I saw that somewhere.
There's a big, heavy metal dial on the front.
Sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah. You have an obsession with hats, Jim.
How do you not? They go on your head. How do you not? My dream,
they keep you warm and dry.
My zenith in life is to make a hat bowling ball combination that you can bowl your hat and then wear it home.
You got Jimmy's Hat Museum. Jimmy just gives up comedy, moves out to New Mexico, and on one of these like highways that you have to drive through, he has just Jimmy's Hat Museum, and it's all his bowling ball and diamond hats and everything.
My dream is to be rich enough to have make people wear porcelain hats on my ranch, and then every year we have the famous "How much diarrhea shit can you hold in your hat" contest.
Diarrhea shit.
like everyone stands there with their porcelain
you have to
hat.
Say diarrhea shit.
Yeah, because it's just
say diarrhea.
That way you can't move your fucking head, or it will spill and you'll lose points. And the winner gets a bag of oranges. Bag of oranges for the winner.
Is diarrhea shit like the solid part of the diarrhea? with the water sifted out.
Yeah, taken out.
Oh, there's
could be.
possibly. Let's go to
Figured
Matt.
it out.
Like
I
diarrhea
actually forgot
pulp.
about that.
Let's go to Matt in North Carolina. Matt.
Oh, I have to change it. I stole that from the office.
Yes, you did.
I actually didn't mean to.
I
have
remembered
to change
that.
Yeah.
I have to change that.
Matt, what do you got?
Damn it.
That show that Louie's talking about is on NPR. It's called The Giant Pool of Money.
That's what it is.
The hell is that
Thank
about?
you.
I know it's the show you're
Fucking
referencing.
amazing.
Thank you, Matt.
What it is that there's this thing called the giant pool of money.
Right.
It's all the money in the world that's in a bank, basically. That it's a lot of it is Chinese. Like a huge amount of it is Chinese.
Yeah.
And like that's the money that fuels investments and saving and credit. That's where credit comes from. And in China, they were making so much money with their booming economy that their part of the giant pool of money became really huge. And there's all these people that invest that giant pool of money to make it grow. Their obsession is to make it bigger and bigger. So there was too much Chinese money, and they ran out of investments. Like, America's a great place to come and invest in shit. They ran out of investments, and their favorite one was these mortgages. Where people, this is how all this shit started.
Yeah.
So they started going to mortgage companies and saying, we want in more. We want more, you know, go give away more money for us to loan out. And the mortgage companies went, we just don't have any more qualified lenders.
Fuck qualified!
Yes, just go get us more money. So they lowered the standards a little bit, and then they go to Congress and juice up those people and get them to lower the standards legally, and then they stay way, way close to the limits. And then they find a way to take some, like, there's a few fucked up loans, but they bundle them with good loans.
Yeah.
And then they sell them. So you're selling a package that has an average default risk of whatever, 10 or whatever it is, but there's like a couple of ones in there. And then there's a bunch of 20s, but it's a 10, so it's okay. So you start averaging out and bundling, and this NPR show, Giant Pool of Money NPR, you could probably Google it and find it. They talk to people that, like this bartender in Portland. He was a bartender, and one of his customers he served drinks to once a day said, "Hey man, I don't have enough people in my office to give away these loans. Do you want to just come work for me?" And like 3 months later, that bartender has a Porsche and a mansion just because he's just bundling shit loans with good loans, and then selling them to somebody who then bundles those, averages even more, to the point where nobody knows. And now no one can untangle the bad from the good loans.
Yeah.
And after a while, they're giving people loans, and they say, like, how much money do you make a year? And the guy goes, 20,000. Say 30. 30,000. Okay, can you prove that you make that? No. It's okay.
Yeah, give me a phone bill.
Right. They get a fax like every day saying these are the new standards for loans, and it would say, like, here's how much the person has to earn, and here's how provable it has to be.
Yeah.
Here's how much you have to be able to prove that he earns that. You need this much proof. You need a tax return. You need, to call the employee and then go check out their thing. And that went down to, you don't have to call the employee anymore. You just need a tax return. Well, you can use an old tax return.
Yeah, we don't care.
It has to be 2 years old. It has to be 3 years old. And then finally, somebody started getting faxes that said, verification of income, don't need it. Literally don't
to buy
need
a
it.
house.
If they
like,
say they make, all they have to do is say they make this much.
Wow.
And so that's
when
how
did this
bad
burst? Because I had trouble getting a loan. My credit was kind of, for comics, it's weird. I guess about 3 years ago, I was only able to get one through one place. Kind of like a couple outstanding phone bills. Like, bullshit will ruin your credit. So when did this happen?
Well, you remember
it was after I bought
ago,
too. We bought right at the height of the price of the fucking real estate price bubble.
Well, a few years ago, there was like a credit crisis, but it didn't touch anybody yet, so nobody paid attention. That's where there was like a huge earth tremor financially that happened a bunch of times. Nobody did anything. Nobody went and did anything about it. And it corroded and corroded, and then all of a sudden... So all of that money, though, that was what was fueling, like, AIG, insurance companies.
Yeah.
And the thing that people don't understand is that an insurance company doesn't just sell insurance and then get the money. They take the money that they make on insurance, and they invest in these loans. And they invest that money, those loans were such good money and such a good payback that everybody, that's why companies that have nothing to do with
everyone
credit,
wanted a piece of
they're all folding.
Yeah.
God, you just explained it way better than anybody on fucking TV in the last 3 or 4 months.
That's why nobody should watch this shit.
Right.
All of it. The liberal and
I feel like
the
I
conservative.
understand it more.
Fox News, CNN, all those people, they love this They don't
shit.
tell you nothing because they know you won't keep listening. If you just fucking take a breath and calm down and put on NPR. Just fucking turn off your Twitter. And just fucking listen for 10 minutes and you'll completely understand.
I think everybody was under the impression that you went to the bank, you got a loan.
Yeah.
The bank took its money, gave it to you, you bought what you wanted, and then paid the bank back with interest.
Right.
And then if you defaulted, the bank took your house, sold it or whatever, end of story. If you paid it, then you paid it, and the bank had other people do this. People were not under the impression that the bank would then take a bunch of their loans that they made and sell them off.
Yeah, no, that's why when you pay your loan, a lot of times when you're paying off your mortgage, it keeps changing.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute,
they're selling your credit to somebody else.
This isn't the. It happened to me.
I saw that.
I was like, wait, this wasn't the mortgage
away.
company I started with.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. And it's getting further and further away from the person that actually loaned you the money.
Right.
And it's obscuring how much of a risk you were when you.
Yeah, because
borrowed
what are they checking the records of everybody?
No.
Back. Who's it? Is this? We'll buy up this loan, but I want to know who it is. Who?
No,
they're looking
Here's
at an
a package.
average number.
The
of a
average,
package.
right? There's
Bundles.
a shitload of people in here, and the average is this percent. Okay, we don't care who's
No,
in
and
there.
there are still banks in America that are small neighborhood banks that literally they balance how their community is doing and they actually know who they're loaning to.
Yeah, but those are the ones
shit
that all of a sudden
sustains.
the door's shut and you can't get your money out. Those are like,
wait a minute, look,
so
no,
is Bob's bank.
It's in his cab and it's in his house. No, your money's not here.
Like not actually here in a vault.
Wait, how is? Let me ask you. How is this selling of loans legal? Like, I mean, the bundling.
It's legal
what the fuck is it?
It's legal because it's lucrative, and people with money have the ear of the fucking politicians to make the laws. That's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's entirely why. It's so funny to me because fucking Bobby Jindal was that guy that talked after the president. You know what I'm talking about? His name Bobby Jindal.
For the other side.
Yeah, the Republican.
Republican response.
Oh, Joe Goga.
These guys, they always say these two things. They say we've got to let people, we've got to deregulate everything and get off of America's backs. And then 2 seconds later they go, and we've got to punish those people that did all these terrible things.
Yeah.
That's why they did them, because there was no regulation, you fucking douche.
Dummy.
But because Americans can do anything, which based on that phrase, they fuck people. They take their shit away.
Yeah.
And let banks take their shit away.
Poor Obama. He ain't gonna get
Obama.
He ain't gonna get this shit turned around.
Well, you need, the way I look at it is like, we can't win all the time. We're going to have a hard time.
Sure.
So you need a president who knows how to, I think he's going to be better at being president during a hard time. I think people are looking at I have different expectations.
Apparently he's throwing
I don't
some pretty
think
good
he's going
parties.
to keep us at this crazy, unsustainable level of consumer happiness. We're going to shit the bed, but I'd rather have him president when we're shitting the bed.
Oh, believe me, so would I.
Than some fucking red-cheeked Republican that doesn't give a fuck about hurting people.
How come I have the same opinion on that as you do? I want to have this guy in office when everything comes falling down. Because then in 4 years he'll be like, fuck this guy.
For totally different
Mr.
reasons.
Scapegoat.
Exactly.
Isn't it convenient that they got the first black guy in when it's the worst economy ever?
Americans are like Yankees fans. The New York Yankees, when they I liked the Yankees in '94. I
did too.
Era, because shut up, you fucking liar. They built a team and then they won a bunch of World Series with these like storied guys.
Yeah.
But the way that you should let it go is then the guys get old and they retire and new young guys come up and the team is new and awkward. So you take a back seat. You become number 2 or 3 for a while and then you get to watch that team build organically and become winners
it's
again.
Cool.
That's
what
what I love. But Yankee fans go, no, they're the champs. So they go and they spend all this fucking money. They let all their young talent go and spend money on these steroid pumped retards that cost billions of dollars, and they lose. Why are we losing? Because you have no fucking patience. Because you couldn't take 1 year off.
Don't blame the fans.
You want to be number 1 every year. You can't go number 2 for 1 year in order to stage a number 1 comeback. You can't handle it. And that's what Americans are like. Like, maybe we're not number 1 for a little while. Let's go make some more shit. and then come back and sell it and be number one again.
Going with your sports thing too. I love the coaches and the managers that get, they win the championship. Next year they're having a mediocre season, so they get rid of the guy that gave him a championship a mere year ago.
He's an idiot.
It's like, what the fuck is that
always
about?
Win.
I missed that about sports. I grew up a Mets fan, and we went through those years where we were building, but you felt it. You felt the momentum. You felt like you were heading somewhere.
Yes.
And then, sometimes you do get the payoff and you win the World Series.
And then it's so interesting and so satisfying.
And you really get to know the guys and all that crap.
And you know what went into getting there.
And now you're just like rooting for what are you rooting for?
Yeah, rooting for a bunch of money.
Dude, I'm an Islander fan.
It doesn't even do any good.
I'm an Islander fan, which worst team in hockey. Yeah, every year it's a completely different team. Like I can't even keep up with these guys. They're trading and making deals left and right, and it's like that with every sports team now.
No, there was a time.
But that's a great analogy as far as America goes.
There was a time when Lou Gehrig was the new young guy. Let's see what he can do.
Sure.
And he was following on his footsteps of, Babe Ruth was still around.
Well, there was a legendary guy. That's why Lou set the bench.
Yeah,
and that guy got injured. I forget his name.
Yeah, I forget.
And then he got injured. Lou had a great game, and then next thing you know, he sets the record for consecutive games.
That's the way it used to be. But now it would be Babe is retiring, so let's buy a guy just like him.
Right.
Pay him a disgusting amount of money and put him there.
Right.
Regardless of
sacrificing pitching and everything else.
Exactly. And then lose, and then everybody go, what happened? So fire the manager.
Right.
Yes, he couldn't make it work.
Such a joke.
You know what I think Americans need to chipper us all up? I really do.
What do we need?
Hula hoops. I think the hula hoop was something that just made people feel good and alive.
It was a very fun, innocent time in our nation, the hula hoop days.
Maybe pogo sticks.
I had a hula hoop. They sucked.
Did you really?
Does anybody say that hula hoops suck?
I can never work a hula hoop.
They were fun for the first 30 seconds, and then you're like, ugh.
I could never make my hips move the right way.
We used to throw them at each other.
They're for girls. That's why girls got those hips.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We used to make them into weapons. That's all. Like, what else are you going to do with it?
You put it around a kid's neck and you pull.
Yeah.
That's what I go to my daughter's school and I chaperone lunch and recess sometimes.
Yeah.
And the kids, that's what they do with hula hoops. Is like a kid puts it around a kid's neck, literally, and runs in the other direction.
That's wonderful.
Fucking brutal.
Fucking kids, man.
And then you see the other kid sitting on the floor, grabbing his neck, and he doesn't know, as a grown up, well, I got to go see a chiropractor.
Lord of the Flies.
Why don't we take a quick break and we'll continue. That Dow is trying to stay up today, but it's
68.
It was 68. Now it's down to 52. This thing is going down again
today. Good.
This is going down again today. Opie and Anthony. Louis C.K. March 14th, Orpheum Theater.
Orpheum, Boston.
Boston.
Baby.
Hanging with Louis C.K. today. Opie and Anthony.
Louis is a fascinating guy, man.
Really is.
He got a lot going on in that head.
We both had the exact same thought, except yours went into fascinating guy, and mine went to douchebag.
But it all started with Louis.
That's parallel thinking, Jim.
That is parallel.
Yeah, Louis is a very interesting dude, man. Always
got a lot going on.
A very knowledgeable fellow.
Yeah. When Lou
You're a
comes
good
in.
talker.
I'm a fake.
Me and Louis walking around.
I'm a fraud, okay? I'm a fraud.
Fag.
We were walking around Montreal doing the festival in 2003 or whatever, and you were just telling stories, and it was most people I can't listen to for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But you're a very interesting guy to listen to.
And then we got some hand jobs.
Yeah, from each other, which was amazing. We pretended there were other people, so we're not faggots.
There was a place in Montreal.
He came on my wrist and laughed. Just left me hanging.
Your wrist.
A big joke.
I know.
Just a big joke.
Not even a good fucking
No, it was awful.
push. Comes out like lava.
There was
I
places
was cupping his red balls, and all of a sudden, fucking all over my wrist. I was like, come on, Lou, that's my watch hand.
There were some places in Montreal that were like, it says model upstairs, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
you go up, and they don't quite have sex with you, and there's all these weird ways. And there was one where there's like a plexiglass body that you step into, like it's sort of hollowed out. You have to step into this plastic thing, and then your dick goes into this. And the woman jacks off the plastic that's over your dick.
That is fucked up.
And
It's
your
hard
dick,
plastic,
and your
though.
dick is it's hard plastic. It's not like a rubber.
It's hard plastic, so you're getting
And
no
she-
sensation?
No, your dick is inside of like a plexiglass giant, much bigger dick that she's like licking and stuff.
How do you get your sensation?
Well, you get excited by the fact that there's been 50 dicks in that.
Yeah, exactly.
that day, and that you're actually like your dick is smushed against some pubic hair of some fucking
So it looks like
Canadian guy.
so it's supposed to look like
she's
you're
sucking
getting
your dick.
some kind of fucking blowjob
and your
and
face
stuff.
goes inside of another face. It's
That's
it's the creepiest thing I've ever
So you're
seen in my life.
supposed to imagine, and that's supposed to like get you off, or you wouldn't come though.
Well,
you'd need some kind of
you'd
a
probably jerk off.
physical stimulation.
You couldn't
get
like, I remember
jerk
standing
off
there
as
with,
it's happening.
I remember standing there with this thing, with this woman
is
going,
that?
what do I do?
What do I do?
And
I need
she's
the
like-
instructions.
She sort of shrugs like, I don't know, do it or don't. Fuck out of my fucking studio. Like, what am I
Do
gonna
it or
fucking
don't.
pick this apart?
Some other loser will be in here if you're not. So
Jesus.
fuck you.
What do you want me to sell you on this? I already want to kill myself.
It's like the Han Solo carbonite freezing.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it looked like.
Like you just
Like the
pressed
front of
in
that-
there.
Yes.
Yeah, but not as hot as that.
With your dick in there.
That's exactly
Or would you
what
just
it looked
lay
like.
your? Was it a hard-on dick, or was it molded
I
as a
think it
limp
was
dick or half
I
mast?
don't remember that.
Because
it had to be hard. Had to be.
Did it?
Sure, because how else?
You know what? I don't think it was like really like a dick shape. It was just a kind of
Just
a bulging.
bulging tube.
Well, you just,
Yeah.
Why would you put your dick in there? You know everyone else is just jizzing in there.
Because you want to get some pussy.
It's hot, man.
It's hot.
Because you're getting pussy.
Sexy.
Only there's plastic in between you. I thought I've heard like every time a peep show and thing where you go in and get some kind of thing, but that I've never heard of. It's
terrible.
This is bizarre.
That's hilarious.
Jimmy, you've heard of that, and you've.
I was with Louis.
Oh, you were
together.
you were
yeah.
together
And
that time.
I didn't,
Okay.
I think I jacked off in one of the movie booths, but that was so annoying to me.
Was it like a little spit valve, like on a trumpet on the bottom of the popping, where just jizz comes out? Done.
God.
Ew, they have spit valves
damn
and
it.
trumpets.
Yes, they have spit valves on a lot of woodwind instruments and brass. And
I'm thirsty. Can I drink out of that?
spit valve. Yeah, it was like, let me clean my spit valve. And then they press it and go, whoo, and then spit would come firing out
Yeah,
of like
that
a
must smell.
trumpet and a trombone. Things like that. Your brass, I think, has a spit
the
valve.
boat that they found.
Yes.
You know, I love the description of Survivor found 2 NFL players, one other man.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
missing.
Instead
Who
of
gives a
3 men
shit
missing.
what he does?
I'm other man.
It's 3 human beings, you
Yeah,
asshole.
as long as you're saying what 2 of them do for a living.
Right.
Yeah.
Who cares what the other
they
man
want
is?
you to care a little more. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. What does the other guy do?
Well, I watch the NFL,
fucking
so
relief
fuck.
worker or some shit.
We really do put
Actually, he was
priorities on people.
He was a failure. He played college football, but didn't make it into
Yeah.
the into
So
the
because he
NFL.
didn't make the
Right.
cut, he's
'Cause
other
there's-
man.
other man.
They're all pals from college that played, and this guy played.
Wow.
Wasn't good enough for the NFL, so now he's just
Well,
other
but
man.
That's what the Survivor was. The Survivor.
No. There was 2 non-players.
Oh, okay.
miles.
One survived. The
crazy.
NFL
Oh
players
my
are missing.
God.
2 NFL players, 1 other man still missing. It could just say 2 NFL players, 1 white man
That's
still
so
missing.
that is a small fucking boat for 50 miles out.
That's stupid. That's their first.
So they
mistake.
went out in.
They want to go.
They
for
went
some
too
big
far
fish.
in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stay close to shore. You could get a lot of good fishing in, but you're not. You're
Can
not gonna
someone
get the big
just
stuff.
turn the boat right side up now?
Well, that's
flip it over already.
They're probably underneath the boat.
Yeah, nobody's bothered to look. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh wait, maybe we should look under the boat.
There he is.
No, they were all alive at 2 a.m. The guy said they were all together.
Look at
the
that, though.
waves.
Like, try to hold on to that
Can't
boat.
hold on to that boat like that.
The bottom is slick.
No, my dad. I bought this shitty power boat in upstate New York a couple of summers ago, and it was a huge waste of money. But I bought it from this guy, and it had like the back of it was cracking. I mean, it was just the dumbest thing. But I bought it because where I was upstate, then we were on the Hudson River. So I had this weird idea to take the boat to New York City from Hudson, New York.
Hey, it's
about
connected.
120 miles up. And I called my dad, who we don't really speak much, my dad, and I called him out of nowhere and said, you want to take this trip with me? So he drove, and I'm with my dad, who I don't really communicate with, and we took this trip down the Hudson River on this boat. And when we got into the mouth of the fucking Hudson here, New York Harbor.
The Hudson River isn't really that bad, but there are parts around Manhattan that are fucking treacherous.
By the way, I had no knowledge of boating or anything.
Oh no!
You don't need anything to buy a boat. You just buy it.
You don't really need a license.
You go to the. You have to register. You only have to go to the DMV to register the trailer that it sits on.
Yeah.
And when you do that, if they have one, they throw you a boating manual and say, if you could take a look at this.
Yeah.
So I just went out on the river, just with no fucking idea. I don't even know how much my gas tanks hold.
You are fucking
crazy.
There's an accident waiting to happen. You don't even know where the next gas station or the fill up will be.
Because I'm fine with if I run out of gas on the boat, and then someone takes it and they keep the boat. I don't care. So I stop at a gas station. I find this river community there is. It's really fascinating. I stop at a gas station. He fills me up, and I just I tell the guy, I'm going to New York City. Tell me everything I need to know. So he goes, well, first of all, you're missing about 50 things that
are essential.
That you have to have. You're in illegal territory. And he gives me life vests. But because I'm buying shit from him, he's happy to give me information.
Sure.
And he explains to me that Hudson River is not a river. It's not a river at all. It's not a river with a source that's flowing to the ocean. Yeah. It's called an estuary. And it's
affected by tides.
Yes, and it's basically the Atlantic Ocean sloshes up in and out of the river. And he says if you hit Manhattan at a bad time, you're going to be in the Atlantic Ocean, basically.
What do you mean? You mean it's all ocean water?
Great. It's ocean water sloshing in and out, and it's flowing. It's flowing now, but it's tidal. It's a tidal estuary. And so there was, because when I was it was like glass. It was beautiful where I was.
Of course.
And he goes, it's not going to stay like that. Try not to get there around rush hour, because also there's ferries down there that don't care.
Of course.
Who you are.
Yeah.
You do.
So that's, I don't listen to people. So I showed up at like 5:30 p.m. on the fucking Hudson River, and I'm going under the George Washington Bridge. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever done. I'm with my dad, who's 70-something. I don't even know how old he is. And my dad is trying not to show how much this is hurting his body, because I'm his son, and he's ashamed. But I'm actually I'm fucking shattering his skeleton. His fucking teeth are falling out and shit.
He's just like, are you hearing that sound on the hall? That
yo, man, we were hitting so hard.
Bam sound.
And I don't know how to ride a boat, so I don't know if you're supposed to.
You probably didn't have it trimmed out right or anything.
Nothing.
Like, you could trim a boat out for water where you're putting the front end down.
I know a little bit about
water.
that, but I don't have.
Did you have your trim tabs? Like,
I had a trimmy thing on the throttle, and I'm trying to make that hard ride, man.
But he's probably riding way back, just slamming into waves
so hard, and
you think the hull's going to crack.
It's crazy. And then when we get further and further in, there's a point where I've got the engine running at full bore, and I ain't moving. I'm just going up and down, bang, bang, because we realized, me and we're getting soaked, and we realized that and ferries are fucking booking past us, just crazy honking at us, not stopping.
Holy
nothing.
Shit.
And I realized that, because I pictured, what's the worst that happens? The boat sinks under you, and then you just tread water and you wave at the helicopter.
Ferry picks you up or something, or the helicopter.
I realized if this thing goes down, the waves are we're gonna just disappear into black water. There's gonna be nothing left of us. And I'm trying to and also, I was supposed to park in New Jersey. I called ahead and rented a space on a dock in New Jersey.
Yeah,
and I'm
slip
next to Manhattan, and I can see New Jersey, but I can't move. I can't get across the river.
What kind of fucking piece of shit engine?
No, and also these waves are throwing me towards these big fucking cement walls in Manhattan. And with
this
big
sounds like a
fucking old
nightmare.
wooden pile. It's like the worst thing that ever happened. And my arms are aching from
trying to keep the boat.
in
Did
one
you regret
direction.
your decision at this point?
I started to regret a lot.
Did you wave to New Jersey as you were heading toward the ocean?
Yeah. It took us.
Goodbye, Jersey.
Oh my God!
It took us about 4 hours to get the 120 miles from Hudson, New York to George Washington Bridge.
Yeah,
and from the George Washington Bridge to that big Colgate sign in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I think that took us several hours. I mean, it just took all fucking day. I mean, it was the worst thing.
And then other times of the day, the water's sloshing out, and
that night the way I got home was I went home. I did research fucking like a person.
You knew the tides at that
point. I sent my dad home on the train. Because I had to get the boat out of there.
Shattered skeleton and broken teeth in his hand.
Put about 50 years on him.
Holy shit.
Took a few of the last few years he had left.
Oh, my God. That's
And I got
horrible.
on the boat at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got back on the boat, and it was just like a piece of glass. And I stood on the boat, just going around. It was the greatest. Then that was the greatest thing. By the Statue of Liberty, around the base under Manhattan, went up the East River.
Yeah.
By the
LaGuardia
by
and the
the UN building and everything, and the prisons. And had the greatest right in the middle of the night with a fucking
I would love to do that,
radio
man.
blasting, just standing on this boat, just fucking.
And earlier in the day, it was just bam.
Oh my God!
Oh, is that fucked
Was
up?
that the tides though, or just all the traffic, or both?
Both, because the traffic stirs up. After a while, it's this cauldron.
But it's the
fucking sick.
When high tide hits in the Atlantic, it pushes the water up the river.
Yep.
So the actual river's flowing down from the Hudson, but the tide is stronger, so it pushes it back.
Pushing it back.
Then when the tide lets go, all that fucking water that it pushed up comes rushing back in. But when you're going in when the tide's coming up and you're trying to go south down the Hudson River, fuck you. That's you're battling the ocean.
We're the only
in a tiny
boat.
channel.
We're the only boat going south.
Heading that way. And they were probably all like, who is this fucking idiot?
And other boats were looking at us. I noticed it because we went under the Tappan Zee. We went under all this.
Yeah.
And when you're on a little boat looking up at those structures, they scare the shit out of you. It makes you feel like you're standing on something too high. Like it gives you this vertigo when you're by one of those pylons that supports the Tappan Zee Bridge, and you're going by it on a little boat. It's just, you feel sick to your stomach because you're like, this is all just too huge for me. This is like Blade Runner. Like I can't hack this.
Wait, what kind of, was like a little motorboat? It was like a
it was smaller than that shit that's upside down in Florida right now.
Well, that's a 20-footer that we're looking at on TV.
It was, I don't know how many feet it was. It was four seats, front and back.
Maybe, or
and a little tiny fake cuddy cabin.
Can I solve this mystery for everybody, the NFL player thing? It's so obvious what happened, because the guy they rescued was sitting on top of the thing holding on to the anchor.
Yeah.
When this fucking thing flipped over, it was every man for themselves, and it's like, fuck you, I know we're all friends, but now it's like whoever the strongest guy is going to survive. Because there was only one slot to hang on, and it was the position that guy took.
He was Kate Winslet while Leo froze in the water.
Slipped under the surface.
I would bet money there was some kind of struggle, and this guy won over the other three, because they all went into panic mode. Because if you look at the boat, there's nowhere else to hold on to.
Yeah. It's possible.
You would think, maybe life jackets.
Why only one? It feels like they got in a fight about something else.
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe, why are you in the NFL and I suck? That's horrible. People are dead.
But that's the only reason. That's the only reason one guy survived.
It's not my mom. It's not me. It's not my kids.
That's the only reason one guy survived. There was only one spot. One spot available, and there was four of them.
That was it.
So they went into panic.
Maybe
the one guy got up
him.
there.
Maybe they chose him.
No, the other guys just they're fish food.
Like the anchor, there was no way for four people.
Look at the boat and how it's tipped over. There's nowhere to hold on to.
What part was the anchor? That hole? That thing looks like a hole.
They said they were anchored.
I don't think. Here's what I think happened, because and I'm taking it from my own stupid experience. The thing you don't realize till you're out there, like in any kind of bad waters, you picture shit from a movie.
Yeah.
You picture shit going down and that you just step off the boat while it's sinking, and then that you and your friends tread water and talk about it for a while.
Yeah.
And that one by one you try to help each other, and whatever, a shark comes and eats one. That there's this whole thing where the humans survive. But when a boat goes down, it takes fucking a nanosecond for your dumb little lungs to fill with water, and you're
just dead.
Sink.
You're gone.
The other three guys.
You're being picked at by little fish as you're going down to the bottom.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
That's it. They're just, that lifeless fucking dull eyeball is just being plucked away.
Oh, God.
It's just weird that one survivor had a nice seat on top of the boat. He was,
well, he was lucky.
He was
lucky, or he had better reflexes, because that shit happens really when a boat capsizes in bad water. There's just, everybody dies.
It's not a slow, hey, I think we're rolling over.
Yeah.
This boat's rolling. We're underwater.
Oh, that's not oxygen. Whoops.
Dead.
I'm dead now.
But your boat story rules. I always wanted to go up and down that Hudson River, too. Now I learned a lot today from you.
Oh, it was well worth it.
I'm going to have to study some shit before I do it.
Well, because I learned, because when I went up to Hudson to get this house that now belongs to my ex-wife, we went we found this town called Hudson in New York. That's this really, it looks like Nantucket. It's a very colonial-looking kind of, it looks like a New England town. And I read about it, and I found out that what Hudson, New York is, it's 120 miles up the river. And what it is they were people from Nantucket who were whalers. And back in the 1800s, the British kept just burning their ships and burning their town. The British would just sit outside of Nantucket and just lob.
Those British.
There was no war
real
going on.
bastards.
They were just being assholes. Seriously. Yeah, during the 1800s, that's the War of 1812 was just the British just being dicks.
Yeah.
And us going, you really got to cut the shit, and them going, hey, fuck off, and just they would just launch cannonballs in and set Nantucket on fire for fun. So a bunch of people near Nantucket said, let's just get out of here, and they all left together, all these whalers, and they found Hudson, New York, which was a nice place to build a town up the Hudson River. And so what they would do is they take their whaling ships. This is the fucking 1800s. People like with wood and iron.
Yeah.
They took their ships and they go out into the fucking North Atlantic and they'd kill a whale and they'd drag it with these boats up the Hudson River, all those fucking miles, and they'd cut it up and then send it down the river in pieces.
You know,
and
that
sell it in
isn't
New York.
right, man.
Oh, the whale thing?
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
Like back then, there were fucking whales. You could walk across the whales.
You had to get it.
Fuck
to
'em.
England.
Yeah, I got to go to England. I'm going to just walk.
Step across whales.
I'm going to drive my little fucking jalopy across the whales.
Exactly. But so then they were safer there. The English couldn't get at them.
They just said, fuck it, we're going to hang
and then
out
it
here.
became this port because people were, so farmers in upstate New York would take their sheep and slaughter them in Hudson and send the meat down river to New York City.
So fucking primitive.
Yeah, that's how
Amazing.
shit was.
Yeah.
There's the town we bought a house in used to be all whorehouses for farmers.
Really?
They were whorehouses with stables. So like a farmer would
Nice.
drive his sheep.
You could fuck a girl or a sheep.
Yeah, it was
or
like
a
a few
horse.
miles out of Hudson. So the night before you went into Hudson to sell your sheep, you'd put them in a stable and fuck a whore, and then take your sheep the rest of the way
What a
home.
great little system.
I know.
Everything like planned out,
simple then.
make people happy.
Exactly.
Keep the economy going.
There's a guy that had an experience like you did that you just told. Steve in Pennsylvania. Steve.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, Catskill, New York. 20-foot bayliner, single screw, 175 horse. I read the tide charts. My business partner had a 33-foot Carver. We used to take down and from that same marina, go down around the statue, come back. It was a great time. So I bought this 20-footer, put the wife, the two kids in it, my two girls, real young at the time, and I took off, big shot, down the Hudson, beautiful ride, and I got down to that area that you're talking about. I was doing prop stands where the boat was just almost just like straight up, the front of the boat straight up, motor just whining, hull banging. I finally get into a marina because I needed fuel. My wife and my oldest daughter got off the boat and said,
And you never saw them again.
Yeah, we're not
Never
getting up.
saw them
I'm
again.
running off at the gas station, guy. Fuck you.
No, that shit is gnarly. It's really fucking bad because it's New York Harbor. Manhattan. People don't understand. There is no Hudson. The Hudson's not on the west and the east. There's no such thing as the East River. That's what people don't understand. It's all in New York Harbor. It's a harbor of the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
That on the left side, it looks like a river, so we call that the Hudson River.
Yeah.
And then we call the East River
It's
the
just
East
because
River.
there's Manhattan Island in the middle
of the
so-
sloshy, crazy, icy ocean.
Yeah.
So is it seawater? The Hudson's seawater?
Well, no, it's
certain times of day. It's
brackish
salt water.
certain parts
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
day.
It's like salty.
It pushes the salt water in.
It's
water.
where, water, whatever the fuck.
And then when it's the river's running out into the ocean, it's fresh water.
Yeah, and where this guy is Catskill. There's a harbor. There's a little place there where you can take your boat in and you get something to eat. I mean, it's a fun world, the boat world, but
Yeah, it really
if you don't know
is.
what the fuck you're doing, like I didn't.
I was in the boat world years ago with my mother and Sal. Sal was just Mr. fucking boat.
How big was the boat?
His is a 38-foot Sea Ray.
Okay.
I mean, it was really fucking nice, really nice. And he would drink.
You can park that shit anywhere.
He would fucking drink on the way from, like, I guess they were in where is it? Oakdale, Long Island, out to Watch Hill on Fire Island. And he'd be drinking fucking, we'd all, be slamming down drinks and stuff. He'd be making mudslides and blenders down in the kitchen, and this thing had like a galley and everything. And he'd be hammered and back this fucking thing into slips
Yes.
that like were, there's no way.
These guys are amazing that can do that.
Dual screws, so
Yeah.
he's running like the transmission to get the props going in opposite directions
Yeah, yeah.
to turn the boat, so he could swing the
No,
thing
well,
around
the
and then
first-
back it into the slip.
Really, the first boat I had was a little orange like with a white steering wheel. Like it just looked like a little race car, you know. And it was just two-seat boat, like really tiny little fiberglass boat that I saw on someone's yard for sale for $800. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just buy it. And I just knocked on the guy's door, and he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I'll pay it. And I gave him the $800. It's just sitting there on a trailer. And then I'm like, well, now what do I do? Like from scratch. Yeah. And I had an old Ford Ranger pickup. And I went to the fucking Napa and bought the ball.
Trailer hitch.
The trailer hitch. And I got the wrong size and went back. And then I put the fucking...
Already wrong.
Yeah, and then the guy watched from his window laughing as I tried to put a trailer hitch on a fucking truck. It took me like an hour sweating. And then I took it down to the Hudson where they had to, you back your boat down.
Oh, the Ram.
Yeah, and I have no idea how to do it or what to do.
How'd you do?
So there's an old man, literally an old seaworthy looking man with a white beard watching me do this. And I just decided I'm not just going to try. So I just... Oof. It takes me hours to line it up because when you're backing something with a trailer, it jackknifes on you, and
backwards.
All of your instincts are wrong.
Let me tell you, I had a jet ski and I had the same problem until somebody told me, put your hand on the bottom of the steering wheel, and wherever you want the back end of the trailer to go, your hand. Let your hand go that way. So instead of trying to think right, left, I want the trailer to go this way. Yeah. I move my hand that way.
That's really
and if it's on the bottom of the steering wheel, and then it got to the point where I could do it with my eyes closed after a while.
Well,
but
I backed it down, and
first time,
the boat is strapped hard to a trailer, and the plug is out in the back of it. That's how you keep a boat.
Right, yeah.
You keep it strapped down to the trailer with the plug in the back. Now, what I know now is the way you launch a boat, and then it's tethered in the front by a winch.
Oh, yeah.
So the way you do it is you let go of the strap, you take the straps off, so it's just loose, only held on by the winch, and you put a plug in the back of the boat, so that when the trailer goes into the water, the wheels of the trailer go down in the water, and the boat floats on top of the water. Mm-hmm. But what I was doing was it's held to the trailer, so the trailer's dragging the boat, and it immediately fills with water. It completely fills with water, and it's also, because it's now weighs billions of tons, threatening to drag my fucking truck into the water, and I am peeling out.
Panicking? What's Popeye doing watching you? Is he laughing at you?
My mind. Oh, yeah,
a bit of a panic set.
He's just watching, and I have the car floored, the truck floored, and the wheels going.
You're just trying to hold ground.
Just trying not to, because it's just a shitty rear-wheel drive, and the rear wheels are now in water.
Oh,
and I've just got water shooting everywhere and smoke, and now the tailpipe is starting to go in. Like, I'm going in the fucking water. And somehow I found some traction somewhere in there, and the whole truck like lurched forward in this screaming wheels. And the boat came out gung, with water splashing. It was the craziest spectacle. And I stopped and I look up at the guy, and he goes, try again. He goes, what'd you learn?
What'd you learn?
That's great. And so I got out of the truck, and I'm like, okay, there's a plug in the back. That was dumb to keep it strapped. I said all this out loud, and he's going, yeah. And he goes, he said, you know what? The guy said to me, you're going to be having the time of your life in about half an hour. And I waited for the boat to empty out, put the plug in, and if he was right, in half an hour I was on the fucking river.
Owning a boat is great.
With
owning
beer.
A boat
with beer.
Yeah, I'll never do it again.
Boy, how do you get it back onto the trail? Like, what are these people there?
You have to. No, you have. Yeah, if there's people there waiting, like expert boaters,
they'll start yelling at you.
They hate you.
They're not gonna be.
They will fucking yell at you.
The thing I can't do that those guys do is just fucking drive my boat back onto the thing and then run up to the to the top of it and winch it.
You back the trailer into the water.
Yeah.
And then
where's your boat while you do that?
Your boat is kind of tied up, on the side by the dock. You back in, you quickly, because you're running now because you don't want to be the guy. You get in your boat, you fucking give it a little juice, and up onto the trailer that's kind of halfway submerged. Yeah.
I don't have the skills, so I would use the ropes of the boat.
You got to cut back.
Pull it onto the trailer. Sometimes, like
we're using block and tackle.
Yes, exactly. And I'm trying to, and my feet are now in water, getting cut on the bottom of the fucking river.
Yeah, really smooth by the ramps.
Yeah,
where people throw their beer cans and bottles.
And I've gotten my fingers are bleeding, and I'm grunting. And there's a guy standing on his boat with his hands on his hips. Like, just fucking hating me.
All right, come on. I used to wait for can't back it up guy. They were the worst because you knew it wasn't going to get any faster once it got into the water.
No.
And it's like, you could see him trying to figure out if the back of my truck is going left, the trailer's going right. All right, I gotta do this, and then it's going off the side of the ramp, so he's got to go forward again, and you're just going, come on, come on. You're just looking at your watch. Time is wasting. The sun's going down. You fucking want to get out there.
God damn it.
And once that guy told me with the hand on the bottom of the wheel, and then I would hang out the window of my truck and just look backwards, not even use the mirror because you couldn't really see.
No, the mirror doesn't help.
And just look out the back and steer it right in
really
there.
Smart,
and then getting in was the same thing. I'd back it up, take the jet ski, and just right up onto the trailer. You clip the front winch thing on there, and don't even winch it all the way up. No. Now drive that fucker off the ramp.
Yeah, and then you do your work
take care
out
of your
there.
shit in the parking lot.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Because there are guys strapping their shit down on the ramp.
Yeah, they're putting the beers back in a cooler.
You could fucking do that in a parking space, you prick.
There's a guy, Coal Shoveler from Richmond. He writes, "Tell Louis that there are old retired guys that sit down by the boat ramps just to watch people like him and laugh at him." That's a hobby for these guys.
Sharing
really
beers,
laughing.
Oh, yeah. The boat world is interesting because it's two kinds of people. There are these sort of anarchist, fuck the world people that you can tell they live on their boat and they hate you just for floating by. For not being them. And they don't pay taxes. They live on you know what I mean? They're just off the grid boat people.
Yeah.
And then there's these people that are holding on to this idea that they're Mr. and Mrs. Howell, these fucking people. Because in Hudson, this town I'm describing is a dump. It's all unemployed. There's no business up there. They have a boat club right on the river, and they're taking up the whole fucking river with their docks.
Why don't you come down to the boat club when you're
so
done?
I thought maybe I'll rent a dock from them so I don't have to launch every time. So they have all these empty space. There's just no boats there. So I go in this shitty looking boat club. It's just a fucking dump. It's like a small airport, you know?
Yeah.
Like Syracuse Airport or something. And I go in there, and there's these people in white sweaters and white shorts. And I go, "Do you rent the docks?" "You have to become a member, and you have to you can't become a member if you don't if you don't
Here's some production for you.
You need a reference to become a member. Tell us a little about yourself." And I'm like, I make more than all you motherfuckers.
Yeah, well.
You this guy owns a fucking local car dealership, maybe.
Yeah.
And this cunt owns a Cumberland Farms.
That's where they go to feel important and rich.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm famous, you motherfuckers.
My word, show people, not in our club. My goodness.
How much is it to rent a little space to park your boat?
A slip.
It's by the foot. And up there, they wouldn't let me. They just wouldn't let me because I'm not a member of their community.
We know you're part Mexican.
Exactly. I don't remember what it costs. I don't remember. In New Jersey, it's vastly cheaper than New York City. You're like every hour you're sweating the hours. It's by the hour and it's by the foot and it's tons.
Oh, in New York, you can't just rent and keep your boat there all the time.
Well, if you're rich, yeah. And there's like some like the 79th Street boat basin.
Yeah, there's a few marinas down around Manhattan. Yeah.
Like that's a public something, but that's about waiting lists and stuff. Like
How much do you think they are? I mean, is it like $50 a day? I mean, I have no concept.
I don't even remember. I never rented in New York.
It's probably so much more expensive than having a monthly parking thing in a garage. That's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people pull them out during the winter and dry dock.
Yeah.
It's the cheaper
What's
that
dry
way.
dock mean?
You go, you play
in the water.
Yeah, it's not in the water.
I mean, but like, where do you dry dock it?
It's usually a boatyard. Yeah, a boatyard or an indoor warehouse. But then they actually take them on these big lifts and stack them on shelves in these warehouses or outside. They wrap them in plastic and shrink wrap, and then
that's what
they stack them. Yeah,
I always thought they were new boats for sale. I've seen those before.
It's a new boat for sale.
I'll have that one.
They stack them up, and it's cheaper, and it doesn't get as damaged. You don't have to worry about hurricanes and
dry docking. It's a lot. Could be a lot worse.
Yes, dry docking. There's another one.
Yeah,
another definition.
Two unclipped men in heat.
One with prostate problems.
Dry docking.
All right, so they'll wrap your boat in plastic. Do they come and get it off the marina for you, or you got to bring it to them?
I think they come and get it. I think you need a truck to like. You ever see those giant trucks with giant ships on the expressway?
Yes.
And you're driving, just going, "What the fuck is? What is that? That has no business being on the road."
How big is like a good size yacht? Like a good size fucking rich guy yacht?
Well, geez, they get so huge.
You start getting over 50 feet, and you're talking like. You better know how to fucking drive this thing and with everything. No. You got to know how to back it in.
You know how I got, by the way, you know how I got back to New York, back to Hudson, because it was pitch black and some of that. I took the GPS out of my car.
Oh shit!
With a suction cup. That's what kind of I had back then. And I stuck it. I swear to God, it's the smartest thing I ever did.
No shit.
And I stuck it on the boat, and it fucking took me. It knew the contour of the river.
Yeah.
The GPS is like, dude, you're not on a road. I can't get you anywhere.
Take the fucking FDR.
But this is where you are. For your information, I don't know why you're here, but you're here. And there was a few times that it saved me because I couldn't fucking see, and I wasn't sure what part.
But it doesn't tell you where the rocks are.
Well, and also you can't. You have to stay within a boating. You have to
like
stay
him and Henry Fonda
there's a boating
fishing.
channel.
Lanes.
There's a boating channel, and you have to stay within it. But sometimes you lose the buoys, and you don't. You knew, and I did have a chart. Like I can read a chart, and I know where a boating channel is. But I couldn't see. I didn't know how far I was from either shore. I'm in the middle of fucking.
It's that dark out there.
There's a bay. There's a bay right after the Tappan Zee. If you're going north, something bay that's just enormous, and you really can't see the left or the right. So you feel like you're in the ocean, and it gets really scary.
You can get turned
the
around.
GPS fucking told me right where I was, and and there was times where I was headed towards fucking land that I couldn't see because it was just
car GPS.
My car GPS got me back to Hudson.
It probably says specifically not to be used for maritime or aviation use.
Well, you can load them. You can load them with those GPSs with maritime maps. You can.
Yeah,
but I didn't have that. I used the car get you home in your car map.
I tell you, the first thing I ever did, and this was horrifically stupid. I bought a Sea-Doo, a 2-seater, sit-down jet ski, a personal watercraft, which obviously I couldn't afford. That's another story.
By the way, I was on all these boats I bought instead of groceries.
That's what
part of why I'm not married anymore.
Like that.
The one thing I'll cop to is that I did really dumb things with my money my whole life.
They wound up giving me a $10,000 credit card.
Nice.
Because I had gotten a $5,000 one and maxed it out, but I was paying the minimum.
Yeah.
So they just sent me another one and said, "Hey, here's an application." I filled it out, and the credit limit was $10,000.
You're a perfect customer.
Now I got a $10,000 credit limit thing. So I went right down to the fucking place where they sell personal watercraft, bought a Sea-Doo and a trailer. The whole thing came out to like $8,000. So I still had $2,000 left on my credit card.
Jesus.
And I'm paying 25% interest on a jet ski and stuff. Believe me, it was a nightmare. But I had the time of my life on that fucking thing.
Can you jet ski on the Hudson or no?
I've seen them out there. Yeah,
seen them a lot actually.
Where I went though, I wanted to get out to Watch Hill on Fire Island, so I drove out to Patchogue early in the morning, and I crossed the Great South Bay. And it was pea soup fog. I couldn't see shit. I ripped a chart. I went into a store where they sold boating charts and Hagstrom maps and looked for the page I needed and looked around and just tore it out and put it in my pocket. Wow. And I had a compass. And every like 2 minutes, I'd pull out the chart and the compass, line up which direction I was supposed to go, and just keep going. Through fog. And I could have been broadsided by a boat at any minute because I couldn't see. And then right when the fog broke, I didn't know where I was going to end up. I couldn't possibly think this was going to work. It said, "Welcome to Watch Hill." I pegged it. Fucking nailed Watch Hill from Patchogue.
Isn't that satisfying though? Didn't you feel good?
It was like I worked, but I only did it once, so I don't know if it worked or I just got really fucking lucky.
Wow.
I would have just drove and hoped for the best. That's the difference between you and I.
Go in one direction.
Yeah.
Every 2 minutes, though. And then
suddenly you become
shut down.
Hyper aware of how much fucking fuel do I have? How much did I put in? And
you start thinking like shit, like because I would stop the jet ski, so I'd just be like kind of bobbing in the water, and I'd have the chart out in the compass, and I'd look around and look down into the water, and I can't see anything. I'm like,
I don't know where I am, man. I have no fucking idea.
Those are
if
weird
I'm
moments
heading...
when you're like, I don't know how this is going to end up. This
It's an adventure.
Shit that's happening to me right now.
This is how people, and you think this is how people die.
Yeah, exactly.
They find them dead.
I used to say to myself stuff in weird situations like that, stuff like, hurry, but don't worry. Like, don't
hurry, but don't
worry. Just try to go fast without your hands shaking.
Yeah.
If you can. I was in Antigua once doing a show in Antigua.
Great.
And I took a jet ski and I said, how far out can I go? It's kind of a big jet ski. And this bored woman said, you have to stay between these two buoys. But she didn't say how far out I could go.
Yeah.
So I just kept going out further and further and further away till like the land is like a little brown strip behind me.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know nothing about water, so this is before I had boats or anything. And I'm starting to go up these gentle rises and then down in these valleys. And I'm not really aware of how that they're getting bigger.
Holy shit.
And I don't know how ocean. I'm in the Caribbean Sea.
You're in the fucking ocean, dude.
Which makes it harder to see the land now.
Yes. And now, so then at one point, the last one I remember seeing was
perfect storm wave.
I went down. Yeah, it was like that I was going down into this valley of water, and I look, and all around me is blue water.
Oh.
I look up, and I just see blue water, just really gentle. It's being very.
It was tricking you.
Fucking
it
with
was
me.
tricking
and
you.
Then
It
I'm
was calling you.
Then I'm climbing one, and I'm going a little bit fucking vertical, and I don't know what this is, and then I go over the top and just fall.
Yeah.
Me and the jet ski just fall in two different people.
Holy
and
shit!
Hit really hard, and then it all swallows me up. And I'm fucking in huge stinging pain. My elbow, like I fucking injured it. Like I just couldn't. And then I come up, and the jet ski's in 3 pieces.
Oh, fuck. What did you do?
3 pieces. The seat, the body is bobbing around. The seat is
somewhere over there.
And then the handlebars, which have foam rubber on them, are going up and down like they're about to sink. And I look in now that my eyes are 2 inches above the water. I can't
Dude, you're
see.
so
I can't
fucked.
see land, nothing.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
thinking, what, sharks? I don't know what this is.
Of course.
And then and I realized I'm really fucked. And I had the thing around my wrist that pulled the key
little
out.
lanyard, that
And
stops
thank
the jet
God
ski.
that held, and I held it. I was like, my fingers hurt for how hard I was holding the keys because it was like life. And I swam to the seat. I just had like Bob in there. I'm like, Don't
tell me you put this fucker back together.
I need a plan. So I swam for the handlebars first.
You need that more than the seat.
Really heavy because they're underwater. I'm trying to hold them above the water so they don't weight, so that they're hard. I'm dragging them through water, and then I swam to the seat, I think, and then I got to the thing itself.
You're able to put the whole thing back together.
I threw the seat back up and I sat up there. Now I'm just sitting. And I'm still going up and down and up and down.
It's hard, too. When that thing's not running, it's very hard to keep it level.
Yeah, the momentum
It's like a
keeps it going
bicycle.
straight.
Yeah, it's like a bicycle. If you're not moving on a jet ski or a personal watercraft, the thing just wants to tip over and throw you off.
But somehow I put the handle. I jiggered the handlebars in there.
Oh, please! It's a nice show up until now.
Wait, all right. So you didn't need a screwdriver or anything, right?
No. There's a gentleman going by on a boat, and I jiggered. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's no way you got this thing started again.
I put it together and put the thing back on the kill switch, and I took a fucking breath.
And I hit that ignition. Now the ignition's on the handle. Isn't the ignition on the handlebars?
I don't remember how. I
You
don't
have to plug
No, it was
something
on the
in?
body. It was like on the body
Oh, it
underneath
was,
the handlebars.
okay.
Wait, the kill switch is when your wrist pulls it out. This
Yeah, it
prevents
pulls
it
it
from
out.
going away.
Yeah.
Yes.
It kills the motor.
So
Yeah,
I put
very
the
handy.
kill switch thing back on, and then I just took a breath and said something to myself
Please work.
like there's no. I can't pretend there's a God now. I never thought there was one before. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and ask for help. I just fucking hope this shit starts. And I'm I think I might be dying today. And I started it, and it started. And I just carefully went. I went up. It was kind of gnarly.
Because now you got to go back up one of the waves, right?
It wasn't as bad going. I must have hit some
like
weird
a rogue wave
because it wasn't as bad once I fell off the thing, and it wasn't as bad going back.
It was one of those.
My head was fucking burning, and I was also just getting sunburned by the second.
Let me tell you something.
When I came back, the woman's waiting for me, equally bored, and I didn't say nothing. I just fucking parked it and said, "Got my little license back."
It's all broken.
So, you know, thank you.
Next guy.
Jesus, you didn't even tell her.
I didn't tell her.
People saying you should be dead.
It's easier on a jet ski to hit a wave head on.
Right.
Where the direction of the wave is coming at you. It's easier to go that way than to go with the wave. With the wave, you will fall off the other side of it. When you're going over a wave and it's coming at you, you jump it. And you kind of have a landing ramp behind the wave where the wave then tapers into water.
That's what you're supposed to do.
So when you go with the wave, that's when I noticed you fucking, especially if you're going real fast, holy shit, you fall. Wham! I've jarred my back really where I felt like I was 2 inches shorter when you hit.
By the way, the boat I took to New York, the thing I found out later again, and all in retrospect, is that boat has a cathedral hull, which means it's a flat, weird. Yeah. It's not a
nice V hull.
It's not a V that's cutting through waves. It's this thing that's just pounding, just slapping. It's like a hand.
It's made for
a hand. It's just slapping.
It's
waves.
made as a river boat.
Yes,
where it's a flat
boat.
bottom. Yeah, a boat that's going to go through some waves. You want a V hull on it.
Nice.
Or
the
dual
opposite
V
of the kind of boat I wanted.
Yeah, yes. You had it would have been better to capsize your boat and ride on the bottom of it
than to kill my father the way I did.
So
poor dad.
Is a jet ski like you? So you should get one basically if you have like a big pool and just zip around on the nice still water. Yeah. Vroom.
They changed all the regulations because I used to go in Huntington Harbor and Asheville.
They don't want
around
you
there.
to own those things anymore.
No. And here's what I would do. I had a front compartment that was supposed to be for flare gun and other safety equipment. All that shit went.
Beer.
I'd load it with ice and just throw beers in there and go out into the harbor and just tear it up full throttle, drinking a beer.
Yeah, of course.
And the fucking patrol is kind of just going around, but they never bothered the jet ski. They didn't care until you get a few people that die, and then they put all the regulations in place. And now, from what I hear, you can't even ride there.
No, that's the thing.
And if you can, no wake, no nothing. You know,
wake cold beer on a boat by yourself. There's something about that that's just sickly wonderful.
It's just
great.
You're by yourself. You got the power of a boat.
It has to be a can of Bud. Like drinking.
That's what it was.
If you're drinking Italian beers in a bottle,
you just sea air, just
not the same. I rented a jet ski recently, and the space they said, well, between that buoy, and that, it was unbelievable how awful it was.
Just little.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth taking the thing out. And they're just waiting to pull those guys over.
We jumped boat wakes when they would come in, and now they would fucking lock you up for doing that shit. There'd be a boat coming in. And the boat would see you wanted to jump a wake, so he'd gun it, make a big wake. You'd come right behind the boat, and that got real dangerous because you couldn't see who was trying to jump the wake from the other side.
Right.
And so many people just collided with each other. People wouldn't look too on jet skis. Like the first thing you're doing, if you're really moving and you want to cut really hard left, look over your left fucking shoulder.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's like a car.
Driving. It's like driving.
People would just do it, cut, and wham, just get nailed by somebody else that's coming up on them.
So people would actually collide in midair?
As they were jumping over wakes, they'd come down on top of somebody else.
Yeah.
It was insanity. Crazy, but it was fun and adventure. Like Louis said, you never knew if you were going to die that day.
No.
Let's wrap up. Get the hell out of here. Louis C.K., it's always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
You got the Orpheum Theater March 14th in Boston.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And all sorts of social anything else you want to promote?
Cleveland in April.
Where's all the dates? On your Facebook?
They're on
your Twitter, your website?
My website's the best place to go because I actually update it. The other things I never fucking do. My LouisCK.com or .net. It's got all my tour dates. I'm shooting another special, either in Milwaukee or Cleveland, whichever one I sell the most tickets at. Right now, I sold out at the show, and we're adding a second one. So Milwaukee's kind of a front runner.
Nice.
Are they a good comedy crowd down there?
I did it last year. This place is the Pabst
Center. Over there? Where
and
the
it was
fuck
great.
Are they?
But I'm playing the Playhouse in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Is it the big Ragu's place in Milwaukee?
Yeah, but Cleveland doesn't.
Never go from rags to Cleveland. Last year I sold out, and then I remember because it's not selling well this year. I was like,
money up there.
And I realized
now.
It sold out last year because of that shit with Maxwell. well. Like, blew up.
Oh, right.
That's why it's sold out, because I got all this attention because that guy hated me.
Yes.
And this year it's back to normal, which is I just don't have that many fans in Cleveland.
All right. And Jimmy's out San Francisco this weekend?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Suck his cock?
Suck his cock. And tonight I got Red Eye. I'm on with Ann Coulter, and I'm not sure who else is on.
Watch that. The leggy Ann Coulter.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you, Louis.
Thanks, man.
Louis C.K., everyone.